Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of In My Cousin's Basement. We are in one of the cousins' basements. I am your co-host. I am Tim Patrick, and always with me is my Milo to my Otis, my Peggy Bundy to me being Al Bundy, Randu.
What's up, Tim? What's going on, man?
Same shit, different pals, man. Nothing exciting ever going on in this place. How you been?
Doing good, man.
Good.
It's crazy. It's the year end
God,
already.
man, it's 2 weeks before the end of the year.
It's
3, 2.5, 3. Shit.
I think today is officially 10 days till Christmas.
Oh man,
It's weird because
16 days.
I feel like we were just talking on the podcast like it was about
Halloween,
and then Thanksgiving, and now Christmas, man.
Yeah, it's like hell.
It doesn't seem real. Like I don't know what it is. I don't know if time just moves faster as an adult, like we talked about. And I think it really does, just because of all the distractions and all the things you're doing.
Right.
But as a kid, I remember Christmas I feel like it took forever. Like,
Exactly.
Like if after Halloween, I was like, oh, Christmas is almost here, and then it felt like it took an eternity to become Christmas. And then when Christmas was here, and it was over with, I would be upset. But then with all the toys and everything, I would kind of forget that like Christmas is over,
Right.
until next year.
Right. Now we wonder why our grandparents are, saying forget things because everything just go by so fast.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's not their their mentally challenged thing or anything. It's because it really does go really fast.
Some days it seems like a blur. Like I have a very good memory, and there's sometimes I have to sit there and sit down. I'm like, what the fuck did I do yesterday?
Exactly.
Or where did all the time go yesterday? What did I do? Why was I all wrapped up in this for so long? It's like, where did that 6 hours go by?
Right.
I don't know how it does that. I don't think about it. It's out of sight, out of mind type stuff. But when you go back and try to sit down your puzzle, like, where did the last 13 days go? Because I've been off for every year at work. I take off the last 30 days of the year. People think I'm insane, but I like it because it's kind of like a mental reset for my batteries and charges and for, getting ready for the next year. And I like to, now that I have kids and stuff, I like to take off and just be around my family and do stuff and just fuck off. I don't want to work the last year. I'm burnt out by the end of the year. I kind of just want to chill.
Exactly.
A lot of people do it in summer, but summer's my winter, for me.
Yeah. To each his own, man. Who cares what.
But I guess because I look forward to it so much. I mean, dude, I've already been off. It's already been 2 weeks I've been off, and it's like I got another week and a half, 2 weeks off, and I'm back to work, which sucks. I mean, I'm kind of ready to go back to work probably in a week or two because I'm getting burnt out of my kids and being around them all the time. But
and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's just the simple fact that it's like it becomes too much. Like, when you're working, you're distracted, it's great. But at the same time, when you're around your kids the whole time, it's like, holy fuck, dude. Like, I just need a couple minutes to myself. And that's why school's important for kids. Like, because it kind of is a babysitter, but at the same time, you get to miss them for a while and they come back home.
Yeah.
That's just the way I look at it now. Before I never thought about that until I had kids. Never.
School's invented just to get rid of kids for a couple hours.
Well, you think about it, it kind of is, but at the same time, it's obviously you need someone else to take over your kids, get their energy out,
right?
Teach them certain things, whatever. But at the same time, it's good for both the parents and the kids. And like you have to have some sanity, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
The free time. But I guess on this podcast today, I guess we'll call this our year-end podcast / wrap-up, I guess is kind of what we're going with this year because, it's the end of the year and it just makes sense, Yeah. Kind of reflect on our podcast, things that we've seen in 2023, things we're looking forward to into 2024. So I got some pretty good topics here for us today, Tim.
All right, what's the first one?
So I'll just start it off with an easy one.
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking forward to in 2024?
Oh, you want to start off with that one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What I'm looking forward to is, for one, better health, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I have been losing weight very slowly, but I am. I'm just at least a couple pant size down.
Mm-hmm.
It just depends. Not hurting myself as much.
Not hurting yourself
2023 was bad for that.
Uh-huh.
And 22. So, yeah. Stuff, basically health-wise, I'm looking to make sure everything's better with me and extend my longevity of life,
Yep.
A little bit longer instead of, being stupid and doing things.
No, I think, it just happens, right?
Yeah, accidents happen,
Accidents happen all the time. I do accidents all the time myself,
Right.
So, what am I looking forward to 2024? I'd have to say, similar to yours, health, for sure. Like, always being healthy, just feeling good about myself, like waking up every day and feeling normal is something that I look forward to every day. Like, who knew that once you don't feel normal anymore, how much you miss just having your health and feeling good?
Oh, yeah,
like,
definitely.
Jesus, dude. Like,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable. Like, the littlest thing can change everything in your whole life and perspective on like, oh wow, like health is really important. You can't buy back your health, right? So it's like better take care of yourself now. And
Right.
it sucks. It takes a lot of people like a health scare or till they're in their mid 40s or 50s start realizing like, hey, I should have started doing this a long time ago because
Exactly.
you know your health isn't always going to be there.
Right.
It's kind of those. It's one of those things. Again, I would say it's out of sight, out of mind because you're just living life. You're just enjoying yourself.
It's a double-edged sword.
It definitely is a double-edged sword. Thank you for stealing my word.
You're welcome.
So like health is a big thing for me next year. I had to say this. I don't care if anybody. I don't like getting political a lot of times, but I'm looking forward to something different in politics for the president because I fucking cannot stand where we're at in the country. It's like inflation-wise and just all the bullshit and the divisive, stuff with. I think, dude, like. I think for 2024, I'm gonna get off social media more. Like I just need to be off it. Like I swear, it gives me anxiety and makes me more negative the more I'm on there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's positive stuff on there as well.
Of course.
I won't say
Still,
that.
but not as much.
It's definitely a double-edged sword too. But like even just going on there just to read like about hockey stuff or like I get on Marketplace to find like deals and do stuff, which I've been doing a lot this year for like Christmas because God, I found some really good stuff. But every time I'm on there, there's just so much negative shit, and I swear that it bleeds into my day when it does that and ruins stuff. So like, for my mental health, I think I'm gonna try to take a break from social media next year, and that means, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, all of it. I'm just gonna try to be off my phone less. I'm home, like since I've had kids and been married. Especially when I have kids, I've been on my phone more. I never used to be on my phone. I was always on my computer or just doing stuff. It's like now I see why there's so many people like they're in that fucking phone mode all the time because they don't have any outlet around them. So the phone is their outlet.
Right.
Sucks. It's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm looking forward to next year. I hope things get better for us as a country.
Definitely.
Job-wise, food-wise. Like I'm sick of paying, like we were talking about earlier, $16 for a burger. I just want to go back to paying normal prices. Probably won't happen, but it'd be,
At least bring it down some, shit.
I just want to be optimistic. Like I just want something to look forward to, like better. Health and jobs and just better economy. And I'd have to say, too, just my kid playing hockey, hoping he gets better and he really goes after it and does stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to that.
Sticks with it, yeah.
Yeah, sticks with it. And then I'd have to say that's probably it. Some good movies,
Yeah, definitely
movies.
needs. Yeah, definitely with the writer strike being over, I want to bring back our shows and either finish them off or continue the story or whatever. And movie wise too.
Just better movies and hopefully some good TV shows, so I can have some outlets to like get me sucked in and out of the world that we have to listen.
Get you off your phone watching movies. That'd be nice.
It's been weird. Like I used to always just be sitting around watching good shows and movies. I could find one. I just can't get lost in a lot of this stuff now. There's just so much junk that's out there.
Right.
And I try watching it, and I give things a chance. And sometimes I find some good stuff, but most of the time, dude, I'm like, man, this show is so terrible. Why is this getting such good ratings? Maybe it's just not the show for me. Right. Probably not. I know I'm looking forward to that Dairy show. Welcome to Dairy or whatever it's called, whatever on HBO. Yeah. I know it's coming out, and House of the Dragon's coming out from Game of Thrones, so I'm looking for that to come out.
Cobra Kai should be coming out.
Cobra Kai's coming out.
They're actually announced, I don't know if you heard it, that Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan are doing a Karate Kid movie. Like I don't know if it's a reboot or a continuation of they're both Karate Kid stories, whatever. So they're together doing one. But
Jackie Chan's gonna be a sensei.
He's not gonna be Mr. Miyagi. That's all I know. So I thought that was kind of cool.
That is cool, and you can't have Karate Kid without him. So not Jackie Chan, but
Mr. Miyagi.
Well, not
Ralph Macchio.
Yeah, maybe he's gonna be the Mr. Miyagi now, teaching.
I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, he's in his 60s now, right?
Pretty much, but he looks like he's 12.
Well, I did.
He's always been like that.
People are like, dude, you look like you're still like in your 30s. He's like, what is the fountain of youth? He's like, I don't know, but he's like, they're doing side by side pictures of him, and from 30 to 60, and he looks almost identical. Like
exactly,
he just looks good health,
Yeah, he's lucky, one of the lucky ones.
He's one of the lucky ones. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Movies, music wise, man, I hope they come out with some better music. I just anybody that listens to this that listens to all the pop culture music nowadays. If you like it, to each their own. But to me, it's awful. It's not real music. A lot of the music nowadays is just. I feel like it's talentless. I'm not saying there isn't good talent out there or nothing, but I wish there was more cool bands to listen to nowadays. Like the mainstream music now, everything's got to be poppy. Pop. I won't be surprised when we see pop rap. Like there's some pop culture, like weird rap
There
change.
probably is. We just haven't heard it yet.
Well, I think it's coming. You know, they did they did rap country this year. Did you see that
Yeah,
whole thing that blew
saw
up?
that, yeah.
That was so bad, man. You know, alternative music. I heard that they're trying to push it back to the original alternative roots of what it
Yeah.
used to be. It's like, please, because pop alternative is gross, and I can't stand it. You know,
Right.
I don't know. I think I've been really down on music lately. Like, just nothing's really caught my attention. Rap's just awful. Rock music nowadays isn't even rock music. It's like I listen to everything that's old, and maybe I'm at that age where it's like, all my music was good. All the music now sucks. Am I that old person now?
Yeah, because that's how I am.
I guess that's just what it is, right?
Yeah. Because you think about it, it's the stuff you grew up on, so that's the stuff you like.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
pretty much. I can only tell you maybe three bands that I like that came out in 2000 after 2010. That's it. Out of all the bands I listen to, there's probably three that I can name that I actually listen to either on daily or just listen to in general. Because everybody else is from the early '80s. You know.
well, I don't mean anything bad by it. I just my opinion on it is
Yeah, it's your opinion.
It's just
fine.
it's just country music is awful. I'll never be into country music. I can listen to some and tolerate some, but
That's
just
the word. Tolerate. That's
I can tolerate it. It's the same song over and over again. But I guess some people look at rock or anything else and think the same thing, right?
Right.
It's just not for me.
yeah.
I just haven't discovered any new bands, and usually I every year I discover like some good indie bands or something. I just haven't heard anything good, and probably because I'm not really looking for it, to be honest with you. But that's shoved in our face, it's like it's awful. And then like discovering music, I don't listen to radio anymore. So like
Right.
if you listen to iHeartRadio or a college like station like what you do and stuff, like you might find some new music. But like you said, I haven't discovered any new bands in a while. Sometimes my buddy Brandon sends me bands. I'm like, hey, this is actually pretty good. I've never heard of them. And he finds them once in a while. But I just stick to my roots, my original music, what I grew up in high school, our parents' music a little bit. Don't get me wrong, there is some good electronic music I do like nowadays. But that's about it. There's not many people I listen to, right?
Right. It sucks. I mean, plus a lot of the bands that I liked or like even still are, they're calling quits now.
Yeah.
I don't like Kiss, but they're ending. Slayer ended a couple years ago. Sepultura is doing their last tour. It's just like I understand where they're coming from because it's hard to play this music, and it's for one, playing in front of 200 people, but then they've been doing it for like 40 some odd years. This is the pretty much only job they've ever had.
Yeah.
And that's all they know.
A lot of them just retire and enjoy the rest of their life.
Exactly. They can't. They even if they don't have the money to do it, this is all they do.
It's funny. A lot of people retire from music and then they come back,
Right?
Because they miss it so much. They need a reason to miss it, right?
Right. Exactly.
Like during COVID when I couldn't play hockey, it was the first time I've taken a break off hockey in probably 20 something years. I can't remember the exact number. I'm just giving you a ballpark, and I needed that year off or whatever it was from playing hockey, dude. It made me miss it, and I was like, wow, I really want to go back and play it. I think musicians probably need that too, or anybody. And they come back sometimes harder and better, but. And sometimes they come back worse. They just want to come back and people want to just see them because they want to relive their nostalgia moments of seeing them in concert, which I appreciate.
Right.
And you get then you start getting a lot of tribute bands because they're not around anymore, right? So you get people like that as well. So, that's cool. And music's always going to be a big part of my life. The problem with it is now it's like, even with kids, it's like it's hard to listen to music. I'm making excuses all the time, but it's like if I don't pop music in my car or at the gym. Or I'm listening to podcasts. That's the only time I do it. Maybe when I'm painting or doing something around the house. But I don't know. I don't get to listen to music that much anymore. And when I do hear music, it's always the same shit. It's like Taylor Swift and like all these new people I've never heard of.
Exactly.
And it's like who is deeming these people popular? That's the other thing. It's like who's making this pop culture stuff? It has to be the young kids, right?
It's media and the young kids.
Mm-hmm.
Media, shoving it down their throat until they like it, or until, the kids pick up on it, and of course the kids bug the parents about it. The parents will listen to it and see if they like it or not, or if it's acceptable. And it's just
all my friends like it, so he must be good.
Exactly.
Do you even listen to it? No, I just like it because my friends like it.
Exactly.
That kind of stuff happens too. Because I remember doing that kind of stuff when I was a kid.
Not me.
Not you?
No.
Well, I mean,
but some metal bands, yes, but not as
metal
much
bands,
as
but like
yeah.
pop culture. When I was young and dumb and naive, and I didn't know anything about music. I was just this song's cool because everybody else likes it,
Right.
Because when you were kids, I think we talked about this before, and we'll move on to the next topic. Is whatever was popular on the radio, you just seemed like everybody enjoyed. Right?
Exactly, because it's on the radio for a reason. Yeah.
Right. So like, top 10 on Z1077 when I was a kid. It's like, what's this song by Blink 182? Oh, that's cool. That's a Blink 182 song. I never liked Blink 182, but if I was dumb and young when I was, I would have thought that was the most popular song. It's like when Ace of Base and all this stuff was on. You know? People like I Saw the Sun or something like those kind of songs. Sign.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's you can tell how much I really care about that band. But when they played that stuff on the radio, people were like, "Oh, this is what's cool." Everybody listened to it. My mom would listen to it. My sister would listen to it. And you're like,
my brother did.
You just didn't know any better. Right. Nowadays, you can venture off and listen to anything. Before, we didn't have that really.
We have more options now than we did.
Yeah, unless you're a music person and knew to go to the store and shop around and listen to music. How did you really figure out music without buying stuff and listening to it? Right.
Right.
You didn't have.
It was the radio. It was the media. That's the same thing with TV. What shows are deemed popular, all the ones that they put on at certain times where everybody's going to catch it or whatever. Yeah. And then it just picks up from there. I can't even tell you how many countless people I know that love Seinfeld, but then again, I hear there's a couple that don't because they didn't get it.
So, it's so funny you brought up Seinfeld. Last night I was, and I don't listen to Howard Stern that much anymore, but I saw a clip from him. Mm-hmm. And man, I missed the old Howard Stern. He was so fucking good.
Like, he's still pretty good.
He's still good. Don't get me wrong. I still like him. His show was like what Joe Rogan's show is to me now with podcasts. Because I listen. I used to bring my headset and radio or my radio in the class in the college, high school, and even middle school sometimes. And I would put on in the morning Howard Stern because he used to be on The Point.
Right.
So I listened to him in the morning. Man, I fucking loved him. I wanted to hear the shit he was gonna do. I would always laugh and do whatever. But going on that point, Howard Stern had Jerry Seinfeld on the show, and he said, "Hey, I heard that 2013 or 14, you got offered $130 million to redo Seinfeld."
Yeah.
And Jerry goes, "I did," and he goes, "I'm sorry, but I had to turn him down and tell him no." And they said, he goes, "Well, why?" And here he knew the answer, but he wanted to hear what Jerry had to say. He goes, "You could not encapsulate what we had in that show, even if I got everybody back from that show with Larry David and everybody." Yeah. He said.
It'd not be the same.
It would not be the same. He goes, it was just a perfect storm. We all just complimented each other well, and it just happened organically. He's like, you can't get that back. It's like, he said, it's like trying to remake the Ghostbusters like we did around it. You can't recapsulate blue-collar guys that we had back in those days. When you try to remake it, it doesn't feel the same or feel the same. He's like, it would have been the same thing. He's like, it would have ruined Seinfeld.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to leave it alone. He's like, it's doing well just the way it is. And he goes, people still love Seinfeld coming to me today, and so I still watch it. It's been out, almost 30 years?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just the same thing. It's like it's trying to saying I'm going to redo The Simpsons now. You can't redo The Simpsons. You can't.
Well, that's why they brought Frasier's back, but I don't know how well that's doing.
It's
a lot of people don't. Yeah,
it's not doing good. It's like bringing back Cheers or something.
Yeah, God, dude, that'd be great.
Did you like Cheers?
I love Cheers.
Yeah, I thought it was good. My dad always liked it too. Norm. I mean, it kind of relates. People like to hang out in a bar. It was bar culture, back then. But they also hung out with people and made it seem like it was okay to be an alcoholic too. So,
or being a womanizer, like Sam Malone, like that. Yeah.
Stuff like that you can't get away with nowadays, right?
Yeah. Oh, fuck no, you can't.
Not like Al Bundy making fun of women at the shoe store.
That show would be canceled the first fucking episode if they did.
I don't know if it would. I mean, I think people would try to cancel it, but at the same time, I think a lot of people would fucking laugh and like.
Well, yeah, the nostalgia people would love it, but then you'd have the triggers that are about. The first thing Al says about a fat woman, or even they have a hot woman on there, something like that. You'll have people jumping all over that.
You'd
shit.
have a lot of feminists coming out of the woodworks and like,
exactly.
This is
you can't do that. You
can't degrade women.
You need a homosexual character, stuff like that.
You need all this other stuff, diversity, equity, inclusion, and it's like we're just making a TV show here that's a comedy.
We're just trying to make fucking people laugh, man. That's all it is.
I don't care.
You don't need a black and a Chinese and a gay and this and this and that. You don't need all that shit on a show to make people laugh.
No, not at all.
I mean, it's great that you have it on there sometimes, but you don't have to.
It'd be like changing Family Matters and making all the family white.
Exactly.
It's like, is that going to make the show better? No. Not at all, right?
Or if Full House had one black child, or somebody had a interracial relationship with somebody, is that going to change it? No, it's still fucking funny.
Well, let's put it this way. In this topic is you remember the Wonder Years?
Yeah,
they redid the Wonder Years with all black people. Yeah, and it got canceled within first
season or something like that.
Within the first season, because nobody watched it. The ratings were in the tank. I remember watching something about it. It's like, who greenlit this and thought that was a good idea? The Wonder Years were good because it was made in the 80s or early 90s, what I can't
The
remember.
80s and in the 70s or whatever.
Or whatever it was,
Yeah.
you know, and it's like they capsulated something back in the day with like families. Yeah, maybe it was all white people, maybe it wasn't, but at the same time, it's like that's what it was like in America back then. That
Yeah.
It's just the times, right?
Yeah.
So why don't you make a new show, not called The Wonder Years? Why don't you make a new show with the all black family, and then people probably would have respected it and watched it more.
Right.
You try to ruin something and grab off nostalgia, and it's like how many people are going to watch the Wonder Years that are black because they watch them because they're white? I don't know why I'm going down this rabbit hole, but it's like. Just make new stuff, like we've always
Right.
said with content, and that's kind of stuff that I hate. Like,
Exactly.
you know, so I don't know how we went down that rabbit hole. We did.
We always do.
So movies and music. I'd like to see some better movies and music come out next year.
Agreed.
Anything else you're looking forward to in 2024?
That's all I can think of. Like I said, movies especially. I mean, movies have been so shitty lately. It's not even funny. Especially Marvel. I've been so let down by the Marvel movies. I know there's a lot of people who do love them very much so, but they're just so downhill now. It's not even funny.
I've been a diehard fan since me and my buddy Brandon Sam got into them together. Kind of like it became a thing for us. You know,
Right.
like every time a movie would come out, we'd go out, we'd speculate, we'd see it, we'd go talk about it. Sometimes we podcast about it, whatever. And it was something just to, you know, shoot the shit and get together and do
Right.
because they were fun and it was something new that, you know, I've never been into comics. It's like, I'm still not into comics. Really, I don't read them, but I stay up with all of them, whatever. I read stuff about them. I don't buy comics or read them, but my buddy Brand does. And
Right.
I think they're cool, you know, for what it is, but I've never got super invested into them. And it's like, if they would continue to make good movies, maybe I would got invested into them. Maybe I wouldn't have because I'm still not really big into reading. I think that's one of my problems. But comics are light reading and easy reading.
Right.
So I don't have a problem with them. I just never really thought about collecting them again because I have a weird. If I start collecting those fucking things, I'm gonna start collecting so much of them. I think that's my other problem. I just don't want to.
That'd be worse than your Funko
I already
addiction.
got problems with Funkos, so
You and me both.
yeah. So I think that is kind of what deters me away from getting them because I'm worried about how much I would collect and get into them because I probably would get really deep into it.
Right.
But also, I think what you're saying is true with Marvel. They went down the same rabbit hole that everybody else did. You know, Bob Iger at Disney is retarded, and he started pandering to the small vocal minority people to change things and make things worse in your show. Instead of just getting the right cast and right people and making a good story, they're hiring people off of credentials of their skin colors and their, you know, the race and all this sort of stuff. And it's like, cool, dude. Like,
Sexuality.
cool. It's like you can do that, but just make a fucking good movie. That's all we're asking for.
Right.
You know, I don't care who the person is. It's just as long as the movie's good. That's all fans want, right?
Right.
Give me the fan service. Give me the lore in there. Make me want to be hooked and continue to watch it. The last couple of shows like Miss Marvel or the Marvels or I don't know. Ant-Man might be the last one that, and a lot of people hated, but I thought was pretty good. But since then, it was okay. I mean, the last Thor was awful.
Yeah.
Couldn't, you know, the
Doctor
stuff.
Strange was. Yeah.
I like Doctor Strange because it kind of tied into the multiverse, or whatever. But it wasn't his best movie by any means.
Right.
You know, I think my favorite show, like we talked about before, was Loki that came out. But even the shows are kind of. I know the What If show is coming out, which I like. What If? I thought that's cool.
There's a trailer out for that now.
Yeah,
season 2.
Yeah, I just saw that. That looks promising, looks good. But even their TV shows have really fallen flat. Like, what was the one with Samuel L. Jackson that just came out?
Secret
Secret
Invasion.
Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
That was awful. Dude.
Yeah.
I tried to give it a thing. Moon Knight was okay. We talked about that.
I
before.
never even saw that one, so I couldn't because
That
it didn't look interesting to me at all.
It was cool because it was new and fresh, but
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't my favorite one. But I can get into it because I knew a little bit of stuff from the comics and stuff, so I thought it was pretty cool. But
Yeah.
overall, dude, yeah, they've been a total letdown. Like my investment in them, it keeps going down lower. The bar for them, it's just going lower, and like I think
They set the bar too high when like around Endgame and stuff like that.
no one's ever going to beat the hype of Endgame.
Right.
Like that was the peak hype.
The pinnacle of
great pinnacle of a comic book superhero movies, and trying to live off that high when you get rid of all those characters. Of course, people are going to be pissed off, and of course, people are going to want to see them again, unless they do it right with Secret Invasion at the end, where all those movies are leading up to now. And they bring back some of the original OG characters because in Secret Invasion, everybody doesn't know. Spoiler, I don't give a shit. In the comic, they have all the original people. They have Captain America. They have Iron Man. They have a lot of the original people. It's like, so they could bring them back. They could bring Black Widow back and all this stuff. Hulk. You do that and Spider-Man and all those other people, you could probably get lots of butts and seats and make a good comeback. But if you don't and you just put all these new characters in there that nobody really invested in, it's probably not going to do as well. That's
Right.
just my opinion. When you bring RDJ back for Iron Man, people are going to that right there will get people's fucking hyped up for the movie.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But after that, I think I swear this is just me. After Secret Invasion, the superhero movies are going to be down, and then they're going to do mutants with X-Men, Fantastic Four. I'll be invested for a little bit, but after that, dude, you can only go so far. I mean, I know comic books are kind of like endless, but the main heroes and the main people that people know, I don't think are going to be really invested anymore. I think you'll see a die down. I think you're already seeing it now with comic books and just general movies. The superhero fatigue is kind of setting in.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw Blue Beetle come out. A lot of people give good reviews on that. And a lot of people are like, this movie fucking suck because DC still has a problem making them. Aquaman 2 is coming out. I don't really give a shit about that. I'm just not invested in the DC world or whatever. But to be honest with you, when I hear a new Marvel movie or anything come out, I've kind of been like, because nothing's really grabbed my attention. Even that new one with the new Spider-Man, with the Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
I'll give it a chance, but I guarantee it's gonna be nothing on Spider-Man level.
Oh yeah.
You know, and then it seems like it's really gonna be about women in the movie the whole time instead of like. It's just weird that the culture shift where everything has to be about women and like man bad, women good right now. And it's like, why can't they just both be good in the same movie together?
Yeah.
That's all I want. Like, it doesn't have to be an all-female cast or an all-male cast. We can have two different casts and together, men and women. It can still be a good movie.
Right.
That's the way I look at it, right?
Right.
So I guess that's kind of where I'm at with my Marvel stuff this year. But I'm with you though. It's been a letdown for this entire year, and I've lost interest in it. So I want something new.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're gonna be waiting a couple of years until we see another Avengers movie, but it's gonna be another two-parter again, of course. So
Right.
we'll see what happens.
We got Kang's Dynasty, which is still coming, but now it's been pushed back because he got arrested for beating his girlfriend up.
Right.
And
we don't know what's gonna happen with him.
We don't know what's gonna happen to him. And then you got not Secret Invasion, but Secret Wars.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm really looking forward to. Those are two movies I've been looking forward to, the King Dynasty and stuff. But we'll see what happens. Keep wishful thinking. Stay positive. If it doesn't, well, fuck it. It's not. I really care that much. I mean, I do and I don't. So we'll go see it. If not, it'll be out on release on streaming within a week if it sucks.
Right. Next question.
Yeah. So anything from 2023 that you wish came true or didn't happen?
I wish I didn't fucking burn my hand.
Yeah. Or fall down and hurt your knee.
Yeah.
Or was that last year?
That was last year.
Uh-huh.
But it was still the therapy of it. I'm very glad it happened because it did wake me up of how I need to watch my legs more and watch my steps, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
Because the therapists were great. The doctors were very, very helpful. Some of the drugs they gave me were because I just had been in so much pain all the time that they can't fix all of me, but they fixed enough of it. But Jen was very, very helpful, which I'm very glad for. You were very helpful. I mean, you fucking turned the crypt down here into immaculate the way it looks right now.
Mm-hmm.
I have to thank you that for that, and I'm very glad that happened. I'm just very grateful for a lot of things that, like, health-wise and personal, family-wise, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I had a falling out with a certain stepmother, which is fine. I don't care about that anymore, which is bound to happen anyway.
Yeah.
She's picking her own side, and I picked my side.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I wish I would have paid. I wish I would have paid attention more to my health.
Yeah.
Like I said, my weight's been fluctuating, but lately it's been going down, of course. But I just wish I watched that more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to use the excuse saying, "Well, yeah, I was in rehab the entire time, so I couldn't work. I couldn't work on the gut as much as I did on the leg and stuff like that." But I'm going to use that because it's true.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that is valid and true. The only thing I could say that would help out, which is pretty much common sense, is, dude, the more water you drink, the more it helps with a lot with losing weight and doing stuff.
I pretty much drink soda almost all the time. Not almost.
Yeah. And if you drop the soda, you'd probably drop 50 pounds in I would say 5 months. I bet you could lose 10 pounds a month if you were doing that.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing: even if you drink soda, just drink more water than you do soda in a day. I know it's hard because a lot of people just do not like drinking water. I had to fix that for a long time. To speak about health thing, and then I'll talk about my stuff, is when I lost a lot of weight at one point, I was drinking a lot of soda too, Mountain Dew, just every day. I'm like, man, why can't I lose weight? I work out all the time. Whenever I drop the soda and drink water, like that, dude, it was like a fucking switch went off my body. I lost 20 pounds in almost 3 months just from stop drinking soda. I didn't realize that soda had that much. Well, when you watch some stuff and you see how much fucking sugars in soda, no one's diet or not, dude, it fucks with your body. Even though I fucking love soda. But I'll tell you what, the upside of not drinking soda all the time, when you do drink a soda, dude, it's like an orgasm that hits your mouth. It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
It's like I haven't tasted a soda in so long. It tastes so good because of the sugar and everything else. When you drink it all the time, to me, they just become dull. They don't become as good. Same thing when you drink water in a while, and you have like an ice cold water. It tastes so good.
Yeah.
Once it hits the lips. That's why I imagine. So now I try to be same thing with me. Like I have to drink a lot of water for health reasons. Like I'm supposed to have to be hydrated and just helps with my anxiety and everything else. So water is your best friend. So make that a resolution. Drink more water this year.
Well, that's the thing. I have these little like powder packets, whatever I put in my water. Mm-hmm. I did the math and figured out for how much a gallon of water, how many packets it is. So I did that. Mm-hmm. And the thing with that is though, I drank that gallon within 3 or 4 hours, the entire fucking thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's still water. There's no sugars in it. It's all got electrolytes in it. Mm-hmm. No, it's not Brando or Brando, whatever it is. But it's, I don't know if that's good for me having all those electrolytes. I don't know.
Electrolytes won't hurt you. Unless it's got a lot of sugar and a lot of
there's
bullshit.
None whatsoever. There's no sugar, no calories. No nothing.
I take Pedialyte every day. I'm one of those people because it helps me and it makes me feel better. It keeps me hydrated. A lot of people, swear by it. When I was walking all the time, I need to get back into walking and doing some more stuff, but I've had some issues lately. But that keeps you hydrated, and if that's what keeps you hydrated, water keeps you hydrated more than anything, but electrolytes can't hurt you.
Right.
Because the good thing about putting electrolytes in there, the more water you drink, the more you pee out all the electrolytes in your body and all your stuff. So if you're peeing all the time, you're pushing all that stuff out. But if you have electrolytes, you're putting it back in your body. So it kind of comes full circle when you do that.
Recycling.
So, recycling. There you go. So I guess anything from 2023 that I wish that came true or didn't happen. Let's see. I don't know. I wish. I will talk kind of earlier. I wish inflation didn't happen because I fucking hate it. I mean, I think it's been the biggest hurdle for everybody in 2023. Not just me, not just you. I think it's everybody. It's affecting. Money wise, I mean, the year before I got a good raise at work, and I was like, yes, a raise. Like I'm finally gonna be able to save money. Dude, I've been living paycheck to paycheck still. And if you didn't know me and probably saw me through social media, you would automatically think, hey, Randy looks like he does really well for himself, does whatever. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, at one point in time I did. And now inflation and stuff, it's like, no, I'm like everybody else, back to living paycheck to paycheck. I struggle just like everybody else does. Right. It's like if I lost my job, I'd be really fucked.
Right.
So I think that's something I wish didn't happen was inflation. It's not our fault. It's just what happened in the world. So I think that's something I wish that didn't happen, that we could change.
Definitely.
Because it just affects everything. I mean, you look at it, everything that we do, movies, music, fucking food, gas, your job, just your livelihood, man. Just I want to get a piece of pizza. I don't want to spend $40 on a pizza. I want to spend $20 like I used to. Like what the fuck happened to pizza? You know, like
it's still the same ingredients. It's still the same so the way they cook it.
I think we said it best on one podcast. It's just we have to pay people more now, and to pay people more now, then they charge more for everything. Okay, now we got to charge more for pepperoni and cheese and everything else, and everything goes up. So they got to keep making a profit. It's I guess it's just the cycle of life when it comes to that and working, but I wish that didn't happen. I guess things that I wish that came true this year. Well, I wish I hit the lottery.
Well, fuck yeah, dude. Amen.
I wish that was cool because then a lot of my worries would go away. Not everything, but man, that would really help out.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I think everybody kind of wishes about that. And it's like, what would you buy? And I'll just go down this rabbit hole because I'm thinking about. Because I always think about it. This year, I think we had the highest 3 times the highest Powerball we've ever seen or whatever.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm going to put money in it because it's stupid not to put $5-10 in. Maybe you hit it, maybe you don't. Because I like to gamble.
Right. But you don't.
Yeah, no. But I think there's so many people this year that are hurt, and they're like, man, everybody's like, let's throw some money in. And when everybody sees it, it's kind of like rapid fire. Everyone's like, oh, I'm at the gas station. You hear Powerball? It's the highest it's ever been. Of course you want to do it. And it's rigged that someone in California always fucking wins it. It drives me insane that someone always does out there.
Or someone in a small Hobunk town you never even heard of.
Yeah, I think it's rigged. I really do. I think a lot of things in life are rigged, and I think they do it in California because the taxes they get and the government can siphon the taxes more out there. I think that's just what happens, just my opinion.
Could be.
So, yeah, it would make things a lot better, but if I did have my money, I think real quick, if I've won the lottery, we'll just ask a question about that. What would you do with it? Well, 1, I'd pay off all my bills. I think that's the most common question. 2, I would invest in something that'd make my a job / hobby, something I'd have into, probably buy like an ice hockey rink or roller hockey rink and just live there. and my wife would probably kill me. And then
I will tell you right now, your bonus question is involved with what you're answering right now.
okay, and then,
So don't answer too much.
No, and then the last, I would just probably give all my friends and family money that I would need to because I can't bring it with me when I die.
Right.
Besides that,
Oh, yeah, you can.
well, I guess you could. What about you?
I don't want to answer it like I said because that's part of the random question I'm asking you later.
Weird. Okay.
I will tell you though later.
So anything from 2023 that you wish came true or didn't happen? I mean, besides the lottery thing, no, I think I had a good 2023. I don't think there's anything I wish that didn't happen. I mean, sure, do I want my son to be better at hockey? I wish that but he's
He'll
doing
get there.
He'll get there. He's only 5. Do I wish I made more money? Sure. I think everybody kind of worries about that. I wish that I made more money. So like that's something I wish came true. Maybe it will come true because my I still get my year in review today, so maybe I'll get my bonus and promotion at the end of the year.
Good luck with that.
But yeah, I think I'm pretty happy and content with everything. I you know, my health, I'll continue to be good on that and stuff. But for the next topic, I think that's pretty much it. Is there anything else for 2023 that you wish could have happened or didn't happen?
No, on top of my head, no.
You wish Jen loved you more?
I don't know if that can happen.
So this came from one of my friends. That's a girl. So I'll give her a shout out for this. For positive this time is what is the best and worst moments of 2023, personal or pop culture in your mind? All right. So to rephrase that question, what was the best and worst moments of 2023, personal or pop culture in your life? Sorry, we had technical difficulty with Tim's hand.
Best, like I said, it was going through rehab and learning to walk again, basically, for the third time. Movie or pop culture wise, I don't know. There was a lot of there was some great movies. There were some very horrible movies. A lot of in betweeny kind of movies. The streaming services have gotten a little bit better. Some of them have on certain movies or have playing certain movies and TV shows. I can't think of the name off the top of my head though, but it's gotten a little bit better. But is it worth the price? No, but it's still they're I'm glad they're bringing their game up. Especially the stuff like Netflix and Hulu. You know, they've really shined through this year compared to last year. I love this podcast. I'm glad we get a chance to finally fucking sit down and do it every couple weeks or so instead of, waiting 3 or 4 months. That's my phone.
That's fine. It must sounds like the wife.
It's not.
So for me, my best and worst moments 2023, personal or pop culture, I would say pop culture wise, the best or worst moments to me were. It's so hard. There's just so much bad shit that happened this year, in my opinion. So I can't really choose one that was like the most distinct. But pop culture wise, I don't think there was anything that was really trending that made it like more fun this year.
Right. It's just everything's still the same.
Everything still felt the same. Like there was no real big innovations. I mean, everybody talks about AI as a big innovation this year and cool, like, but it's so fucking overdone. You know, to me, I thought that was like the cool thing that kids were cheating and writing essays and doing stuff. And now the kids are so smart that somebody went out and instead of just making the AI, they made something for schools that could read the AI to see that, hey, someone made this with AI and they didn't write this themselves. So now they're selling to schools, making millions of dollars. So they make the product and they're also selling the counter product to fight against them. So
yeah, if there's a way to do something, there's always a way to break to something.
I thought that was kind of cool, but that's like the only cool thing I've kind of seen. Like pop culture wise, video games have been pretty much the same. And I'm such a big video game person. Everything feels the same this year. Like nothing really stood out this year. I mean, there's cool games. Don't get me wrong. Like Baldur's Gate won Game of the Year. If anybody knows what the fuck that is. And like Spider-Man didn't win really many awards, but those are like the big name games this year that came out.
Harry Potter.
No, the new Zelda was really cool. So that was like one thing that I can give a shout out to. I mean, I love Zelda, so like the Tears of the Kingdom was really cool that came out this year, and I'm still playing that. I'm almost there and beat it. It's just never had the fucking free time to play it.
Right.
But if there's any best or worst moments, I'd say the best moments. I'd say do some of these. I say. Hockey for me this year, all year long with me and my son have been great. Probably the best moments for me. I don't know, growing up and just being more mature and like becoming more the person I want to be. It's been better, I think. I'm not perfect by any means. I think just navigating and figuring out more things out about myself is kind of where I was going with that. And then, podcast with you. Doing more podcasts has been great. I mean, I enjoy doing this because I never get any free time to hang out with you or friends and just general. So this has been a good thing for personal this year for me. Lets me vent, get some things off my chest, make fun of some people, talk shit. So that's always good.
Like close-minded people.
Yeah, like close-minded people. I know that's a girl. So.
Sorry, I had to do it.
Hey, it's good. She'll live.
Oh yeah.
Predictions on what will happen in 2024. Now, this is kind of just like foreshadowing, I guess, because it's year in podcast. But what are some predictions on what you would think will happen in 2024, Tim?
I don't see inflation getting any better. I think like stuff like sports and stuff like that. It's going to be a lot of sport corporations or whatever are going to be start letting people down. They're going to start changing rules. They're going to be pissing people off because of certain things or whatever, or they're going to change something in the leagues and whatever, and just totally lose their fans.
Mm-hmm.
Hockey has had some, people like the Coyotes. Their fans are like really scarce nowadays, or the Blues aren't doing so hot, but they were hot a couple of years ago, and it's just not just. Like I said, not just hockey, like the baseball and football. They're going to be doing something where it's going to piss a lot of people off, and they're just not going to like sports anymore. I mean, the biggest reason why I don't watch football is because it's so corporate. Everything's got to have a sponsorship. Everybody's got to make hundreds of millions of dollars, but yet they chip a nail. They're out for the season.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of stuff pisses me off. Yeah, they did that with. I think it was some baseball player, something I can't remember. He's going to make $680 million.
Yeah, the Oriental guy.
Yeah,
whatever. I can't remember his name.
I can't either. But yeah, he's going to be making $680 million, and his it's going to cap his fucking team out, the Dodgers or wherever he's playing.
So now he's only taking $2 million a year, and he's
exactly.
going to take the rest when he gets retired.
Exactly. It's like, dude, okay, now that you're making that, you better prove yourself that you can make $680 million. I'm not the best athlete in the world, but if I'm making that much money, I'm going to try my fucking damnedest.
I think baseball is so inflated with money. They don't have a cap, really.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? There is no real cap in baseball. Just like in basketball, there's no real cap. Football, I think has a little one, but hockey has the worst cap. But it makes it the most fair. That's why there's no deciding dominating team every year, because guess what? You can go and can pay so much players so much money.
Right. There's no Yankees of hockey other than maybe the Blackhawks, maybe.
No, not even close.
Well, because as many championships as they won. That's what I'm saying.
Well, that'd be the Oilers.
Yeah, Oilers.
They have the most.
Yeah, I can see that.
To me, I guess Blackhawks right there too. I mean, they have a lot too. What you're saying is true. They've been changing a lot of stuff in sports because they're trying to keep people more interested, like the timer on baseball.
Oh, God, it's the pitching timer. God.
I mean, I guess it's a good thing to speed things up the game, but the game's boring. The game has been boring for a long time, and they've made it boring. So I don't even care about baseball. I don't watch baseball anymore. Exactly. I have zero interest in it. If the Cardinals are playing good, I might watch them once in a while, but I still can't watch them because it fucking drags and it's boring.
Right.
And that's not me just being biased. That's just me being an honest fan.
Truthful, yeah.
But it's for what you were saying with sports, with the money stuff and everything, it's gotten ridiculous how much money we're paying athletes to do stuff. But like what you're saying with the guy that got paid for the Dodgers, if anybody doesn't see what happened with Pujols, it doesn't see that. I think it's called the Pujols effect or the Pujols whatever. There's like a name for it online. I can't remember the exact term, but they pretty much say that I'm not going to pay you for the first 10 years of the player you were. We're going to pay you for the 10 years that we're going to get out of you, pretty much.
Exactly.
So if you knew that you're going to get the best 10 years out of somebody, you're going to pay them. So, like, the Cardinals got the best 10 years out of Pujols. So afterwards, you get that $500 million contract.
Yeah.
He was still good, but he wasn't what he was like in St. Louis.
Exactly.
Right? So they overpaid for something they didn't get.
Exactly.
It wasn't guaranteed. So I guess they're paying this guy to see it. Hope they get the best 10 years out of baseball out of him.
Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe it'll happen. Maybe it won't.
Right.
So predictions in 2024, For me, I think you're right. I don't know if inflation will get better. It might go down, but I don't know if it will get better.
Not enough where it's going to be like where it was, where it's, things were easier.
I mean, if gas goes down and food went down, I think that's all I'm asking for. Like, but I don't know if that's possible, if that's going to happen.
Right.
I think what's going to happen in 2024 is, well, I think it's going to be a huge divide in the world because of the presidency is running this year. So every year it's election
Sure, that's
year.
right. That's right.
When election year comes up, the economy usually does better. Stock market does better. Economy does better. Money is better. Jobs are better.
Right.
That's a proven fact. It's always been that way. So that might get better. So hopefully inflation does get better. That's what we're saying. But the online dismissive or whatever the hell it's called, the fighting between each other, right, left, middle, whatever you want to call it, is going to be insane. It's just what it is. And you're going to see friends fighting online and doing stuff. I'm just going to keep my nose out of it because, well, I don't talk politics.
I don't want to lose friends over politics.
It's stupid. Joe Rogan made a great point the other day. He said, back in the 80s, even early 90s, even if you did talk politics or religion with people and you agree to disagree, you were still friends afterwards.
Right.
Nowadays, you talk with somebody and you're like, you're not my friend anymore. You've been friends for 30 years and you're mad because I support Trump or I spent Biden or whoever it is. It's like, okay, can we have a civil discourse to agree to disagree? No. Well, you're not really my friend then anyway. Like, fuck you. Like, I don't want to talk to you anyway. So that's why people never brought it up. It's the same reason people don't bring up how much they make and what they do. Because it's just not polite, for one. And two, it's just not... It makes people jealous and starts fights over something stupid. Like, oh, Randy works here and he makes, this much and I don't make this much. Like, I don't know. It, like, puts a divide between people talking about how much you make. It's just something you don't talk about. Some reason, some people love talking about that kind of stuff, like flaunting it.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I've never been about that.
Yeah.
I don't judge people how much they make because everybody, if they made the same amount of money, then I would still be like, okay, so you're going to judge me now?
Right.
You wouldn't get judged at all.
Exactly.
But yeah, for 2024, I hope, prediction-wise, I think there will be better movies.
I certainly hope so.
I don't know about music. I don't know if that's going to be anything. I hope there's better video games. I hope there's something cool that comes out better than the iPhone or anything like that. I think there should be a new technology advancement that's going to set the bar high. If that's AI, then let's see what it's going to do. Probably far off from it, but the best thing we've had in a while in the last 10, 15 years has been the phone. That's the only advancement we've really seen. I hope something cool comes out. My take on this goes into your sports take. I think they're going to make augmented reality a thing. You're seeing like Google Glasses and all these things are like 10 years ahead of their time coming out. I think sports companies and all this other stuff are investing in it where they're going to be able to have people like, everybody wants to go to Taylor Swift. Perfect example, right? And they want to see her or whatever because she's the most sold out person. I mean, she had $1 billion this year in music. Can't really deny what the lady's done. I mean, she's killing it in music. She's really keeping people when she goes to different cities, their economy boosts up like by 30 times with food and jobs and everything for being around. So can't really hate on what she does, even if you don't like her. But for people that can't get fucking tickets, augmented reality provide people that have like 8K cameras in the stands. They can put on glasses and pay a fee, and they can watch the concert live from their house.
Right.
That's what I think is coming. I think that's going to happen with sports, concerts, movies, whatever you want to say it. Like you saw Apple come out with their new advanced headphones are like $5,000. Right. I think that's the first step. I think people are seeing this, and they're gonna no one's gonna pay $5,000. But if you get someone to pay $500 for them, or something that's more affordable and get the same experience, I think that's the next thing that's gonna be coming for the world. Like might change stuff. So especially with COVID and people being virtual and people being recluses in their house and not want to be around people, this is a great thing for them. Or if they have anxiety or whatever it is. But for the people that can't make the shows, they want to be there. I mean, we already have everywhere in the world now where you have Zoom and WebEx and all that shit. Why don't they have augmented reality yet for stuff? I think it's coming. I think that's the big advancement we're going to see.
They actually have. I've even actually paid for some. They've had concerts since COVID. They've had concerts online.
Yeah. That
you pay for. That if you're not there or not.
Right. You get to watch. I think that's cool. But I think the next big thing is you're going to feel like
you're going to be like you're there.
You're there. Like I can put on a playoff hockey game, put the glass on. I'm right there in the seats watching the game live.
Exactly.
Cool. Some people think it's stupid. I think it will be cool.
We'll see what happens.
I think that's something that's going to come, and it might happen in 2024. It might not, but I think it's knocking on the door. It's coming.
Yeah.
And if you can get sports and music and stuff involved in it, dude, it's a cash cow.
Oh yeah, fuck
Whoever can come up with that first.
Oh yeah.
So that's what I think it's going to be the next big thing is augmented reality. Do I think anything else good's going to come in 2024? I hope. I don't know what's going to.
We always hope. Yeah.
We always can hope. I hope. I just hope things in the world become more positive, and that's what it is. I hope after the election this year, I think the biggest thing to me is the economy. I think it affects everybody.
Right.
So to me, I think the economy is going to get a better. I think the housing market's going to go down a little bit. I think cars are going to go down a little bit because if you look at houses and cars, who the fuck can afford these new cars or houses nowadays, right? A
Right.
brand new car, like my car, I have a drive a Murano. If I go look at a Murano now, they used to be like 30, maybe 40 if you get the one that's fully loaded, brand new, no miles on it. You're probably looking at those cars now, $50,000, $60,000, and it's like, what changed in the car? Nothing, right? It's just the way the world goes.
Yeah.
I think you're seeing more people lease cars now, and then they buy them when they get off the lease because of how much it depreciates when it goes off the lot.
Right.
That's what I would do if I was smart. If anybody's listening, you're getting a car.
If you were smart.
Yeah, if you're smart, go lease a car for 2 years, and then
Yeah.
that 2 years, that car will drop 20 or 30 grand, and then you buy
Yeah.
it off that price because you get first dibs to buy it off the lease.
Right.
Boom, bam,
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. What about you? Anything else? Any predictions for 2024 that might happen?
I just hope, there's, like you said, the economy gets better. Inflation gets better, the economy gets better. You get more for your money. People always say, money is your god, which pretty much it is.
I
so.
want more 1-day shipping, not 2-day shipping Amazon because my impatience now is
I want to pay for Prime and get it in 2 days like I used to.
I want 1-day shipping. I want half-day shipping.
Oh, fuck, dude.
I
As
want
many distribution centers they have now, they could do that shit. They just don't.
They need the people too, but also expectations are through the roof with people getting their package right away. I'm happy if I get mine in a day or two.
Oh yeah, even if like 3 or 4 days, I'm happy, but not like 2-3
We
weeks.
can turn
Like,
this.
come on.
We can turn this into a South Park episode.
Exactly.
We'll do where they did Amazon with all the drones flying around dropping off packages. Now
No,
that
that's-
and they had
no.
the drone police and everything,
Yeah.
trying to people steal other people's packages.
Yeah.
That I think could be a thing that could happen. For a prediction, you already see it happening. They have drones successfully drop them off. The problem is they are seeing people like throw shit at them and try to knock their
Right.
packages down and
Yeah.
steal stuff.
I could see that too.
Funny story. This guy made a great argument what you can do this year for Christmas because he lives in a neighborhood where packaging is stolen all the time. He's like, you want a good life hack? He goes, just take all your Amazon boxes and save them in your neighbors. And people are like, why? He's like, if you want to get rid of a bunch of shit that you don't want in your house, put them in the packages, put them on the front porch, and someone will come steal them, and there you go.
Yeah.
You got rid of it.
Yeah. There was one guy I saw his something happened to his TV or some shit, so he bought a new TV and he put his old TV in the new TV box and left it on his porch. It disappeared within like 3 hours.
Dude.
It's like, holy fuck, dude, that's great.
It's a smart idea, especially with people, so many pirates going out there
Exactly.
and doing stuff. So
I mean,
I thought that was funny.
Even Domino's is doing a thing where the automatic driver cars or whatever that bring your pizza to you. They did a commercial about joking about it, but they actually do that in some places.
Yeah.
Where if the car comes up to your house, you got to type in the code they give you,
I've seen
and it gives you your pizza.
It's very cool.
Very fucking cool. Yeah.
Very cool because I think people are getting to the point where I was like, well, if we can't find drivers and find people to deliver the pizza, we're gonna figure out,
Exactly.
and you're gonna get
Skynet taking over, man. Skynet. Telling you.
So I guess that's prediction for 2024. I don't really have any more. That's just pretty much mine. The big ones for next year. I got a lot more stuff for the podcast, so you guys get ready. So I guess for the year-end stuff, was there any movies, Christmas-wise, or shows that you still have never watched but people still always talk about?
Anything Hallmark.
Okay.
I still have. I mean, had to watch it in the emergency room. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I do not watch the fucking Hallmark shows because they're all the same.
I've never watched a Hallmark movie, or if I have, it's probably because my mom was watching it or something, or if I remember something that might have been mainstream that might have been Hallmark. Can't think of any of them. Never watch them.
Exactly.
But movie-wise, for Christmas movies, I was really trying to think about this because I every day I try to watch a Christmas movie that's on TV, like Home Alone, whatever.
Yeah.
You saw, I guess I sent you Netflix that Eddie Murphy's coming back for.
Beverly Hills Cop 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be cool. I guess he must have a good deal with Netflix because he's been doing a lot of Netflix shit lately.
Yeah, he's gonna say he had some kind of deal with them and Prime, Amazon because they're pushing his other movie.
Which is cool because I love Eddie Murphy.
I like the old Eddie Murphy.
Well, sure. I mean, you got to change with the times, right?
Well, yeah,
I
of course.
think he's trying to change, but if
He's growing up. That's what it is.
well, he's like 60 years old too.
Yeah.
If they can do I think he will for Eddie Murphy and Axel Foley. If he can do it right, I'll be a fan. If he doesn't, I'll be so mad that they even brought him back then to do it.
Yeah.
I hope he's like Chief or something funny, and I hope they bring back.
I just hope he doesn't have a kid and his kid takes over his job.
I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think he's.
God, I hope not. I'm tired of seeing those movies.
Yeah. I hate that as well. That premise and story. Who are the two people? Billy. I hope
Billy's going to be. Billy better be in it.
he better be. And I don't know if Taggart's going to be.
Taggart was not because he was not in the third one. Taggart was replaced by Hector Elizondo.
That's because he retired. He said they retired and he's with his wife or whatever. Or
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but Hector was still pretty good in the third one. So, if they bring back Serge, the gay guy from
Serge
from what was that? Perfect Strangers.
Yeah,
Axel.
It'd be funny. So the movies are still shows I haven't watched. There hasn't been many, I'd say. Man, I lost my train of thought there for a second. But what was there? Was something that was coming out for Christmas that I want to talk about. I heard someone saying there was something about A Night Before Christmas, something that was coming out.
There's some kind of anniversary for that.
Is there?
Yeah. There's also there's a actual comic, I think, or a book where it's Oogie Boogie and Jack Skellington are like versus each other.
Really?
Yeah, it's like the who's going to fight over who's going to win Christmas kind of thing.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say now.
Okay.
So there's this huge argument going online. We talked about this last year. What movies are considered Christmas movies and what aren't?
Yeah.
Now everybody's saying if Die Hard is considered a Christmas movie, then Batman 2 is considered a Christmas movie
because there's snow at the end.
Because there's snow and they're got the Christmas tree and
exactly
with the penguin and stuff. And I was like, you know what?
God, yeah, why not?
Saying with it here, it's a Christmas movie, not to me.
So why not? Yeah. I agree.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So like if that takes place and this one takes during Christmas and they're all celebrating Christmas,
that one kind of had to because of Penguin because he was part Penguin.
Snow.
So yeah, I mean being cold and stuff like that.
Well, shit. So did the one with Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, true.
You know,
yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was funny.
God, that one was horrible.
I know. Chill. Remember, Arnold would say chill. He always got some weird like that.
Some one-liners. Yeah.
He was telling all the people he was freezing to chill.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. So to me, I still haven't really watched any new ones that everybody's. I just know if there's any like mainstream ones that came out or nothing. But I will say this. I found out my wife has never seen the original 1966 Dr. Seuss How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Holy shit! No way.
So I put that on TV. I found it on free on YouTube because they wanted you to pay because you took away my Peacock because I guess you guys got a new login.
Yeah.
I need to ask you for it.
Yeah, you do. I'll give it to you.
Okay. And we're like, where can I watch it? It says on Peacock. So I got on YouTube and found some person that had like 5 episodes in different segments. You could watch it.
Yeah.
So I watched it and she's like, wow, this is really good. It's like, where do you think this came from for Jim Carrey's and all the other ones? It's like this is the OG. This is the best one.
Yeah.
She really liked it. The kids liked it too. More of the kids liked it.
It's like a Bela Lugosi, man. How do you not like Bela Lugosi?
I don't know if she never saw it, but I was like, man, you're such a pride to this kid. Like,
you're a mean one.
Did you see Frosty as a kid? Yeah, I did see that. And it's like, did you see Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the original one? You know, when his nose lights up and they did whatever animal. How did they do that one?
I think stop motion.
Stop motion,
animation, whatever.
Yeah, and she's like, yeah, I've seen that. And it's like, you've never seen that one?
I don't want to.
Why not? It's good.
I just don't like. I'm not big on Christmas movies, like real actual Christmas movies. I'm not really big on it.
It's really not that bad, and it's got the Abominable Snowman in it.
Yeah,
and
I know
stuff.
that. Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah,
pussy.
I know. Never saw Frosty either.
Man, you're pussy.
I grew up too fast.
You must have. All right, so those are I guess those are movies and shows you still haven't watched. So that kind of checks the box right there. You could have said that.
But I did watch everything that people were talking about, like Wednesday and stuff like that. Weirdly enough, we heard on the radio the other day they were talking about Netflix did a poll on like the most popular TV show. Of their most popular show, the first half of the year, Wednesday was not in the top 5. Like, really? The fucking mother was talking about that.
That was good.
But then I thought about what I just said. They were talking about it. They didn't watch it.
Yeah, they were talked about it. It was good. But I think, to me, it was really good. I think some parts of the show kind of dragged and it was a little overhyped.
They based it too much on the old cartoon, not the TV show. That's what it was.
Yeah. I am excited to see her in Beetlejuice, though. I think she'll do really good.
Oh, yeah.
Beetlejuice 2 looks good, and that was my favorite movie as a kid. So I hope it lives up to the original one, because, man, the original one's so good.
There's a lot of movies coming out next year that look really, really good.
Yeah. So, dude, I got some really good topics coming up for the second half of the podcast. So we just reached the
halfway mark?
The halfway mark. So I hope you guys are ready for the other half. So get ready, kiddies. So I guess I'll go with this one first.
Do it. What you got?
And this is more for you because I knew this one would be good for you.
Oh boy.
What is your spiciest opinion people disagree with?
My spiciest opinion?
Yeah, like-
almost everything I say.
Yeah, I know, but you have to have one. I know that you got a lot. That's why
God.
this one's catered towards you.
Oh, define spicy though, because I can go real far.
I would say something that multiple people would say that the 99% agree with, and you're the 1% and say no, this is what I am, or maybe just I'm just trying to say something like that.
Yeah,
the majority agree with this, and you disagree because of X, Y, and Z.
Horror movies are funny as fuck.
Okay.
That people hate when I say that really bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, they're not. They're scary, or it was okay, or it just everybody disagrees with me because I could sit through The Exorcist or fucking even Rosemary's Baby or even what is that movie? Cannibal Holocaust, where there's like, I don't want to say the word, but something happens to a woman in that movie. I could sit there and laugh my ass off the entire fucking time. If you watch a child watching The Grinch and he's laughing because, you got Max the dog who's got antlers on him, or kids who watch Bugs Bunny and laugh their asses off. I'm like a little kid when it comes to especially old school horror movies. I would laugh my ass off at every single one of them, and people don't like that. They think there's something wrong with me. There might be. I don't know. I never got checked out for it.
Yeah.
But that's I'm the 1% that thinks that shit's funny.
So when I was a kid, and I watched a lot of movies. I used to laugh at a lot of horror movies too. I think as you get older, maybe I don't watch them as much, but I'd like to watch more if I could, just because I'm around the kids.
Right.
I think it's something that has to do with like you're more strong-willed and your mind's pretty much.
I know it's a movie. I know it's fake.
Well, it's fake, but you have a tolerance built up to it. You've seen it so much, like nothing really grosses you out or gores you out, and some stuff you find like hilarious and like, hey, this is kind of comical. I can actually see that with you. Other people probably like I don't watch this all the time, so when they watch it, it really does gross them out, and it does what a horror movie's supposed to do.
Right.
To you, it doesn't faze you at all.
Exactly.
So I can
it's
see
not
that.
doing its job when it comes to me.
So I could see that too. Being a
I like that question.
Huh?
I like that question.
Yeah. I know you got more.
Oh yeah, I got plenty more. Just a lot of things I say that people just don't agree with.
Yeah.
It's just hard to think of everything.
I mean, it's a loaded question because there's so many things that everybody has opinions that people think.
Everyone's got just like assholes. Everyone's got an opinion. Nobody wants to hear it.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have another one. Give me another one.
Oh fuck.
Is there anything that it's more mainstream that you
something that's more mainstream
that you might agree with and disagree with?
90%, 99% of music sucks, except for metal.
I will agree with that 100%.
I know you will. There's a few people I know that will, but I will only listen to metal. I'll put up with, the other shit because I worked at the radio station and whatever, but like Bieber and all that other crap. Mm-hmm. But I will only buy fucking metal. If you go look at my CDs right now, you might find one hard rock CD, which is like Aerosmith, something like that. Mm-hmm. But I will always buy fucking metal.
Well, that's because you're a metalhead.
Even metalheads I know listen to other stuff.
Yeah.
But no, I don't. That's all I fucking own. I cannot stand other kind of music. And other people, they're like, I don't get it.
I'm married to my music as well. I'll put it this way. It's very hard to change my opinion on it.
Exactly.
And I'm pretty open-minded when it comes to most things. I'll give it a chance, especially as I've gotten older. When I was younger, definitely very close-minded. As I've gotten older, I'm like, I'll give this a chance. Music I grew up on, like hair band stuff, like from my dad and stuff. Like I still like it. Like I love Van Halen. I like Aerosmith. I like the older bands because it was real music and musicians making music.
Right.
I don't like all of it. There's some songs I like. I don't listen to it all the time, but when it comes on, I can enjoy it and I can enjoy it for what it was. But I'm married to my music too. I like rock, some rock. I like a lot of thrash metal. I like a lot of regular metal. I like some heavy metal. I like alternative, the original alternative.
Yeah.
And I like grunge. But after that, dude, and I like some electronic music. I like some of the newer stuff. But for the most part, I don't. I mean, it's just stuff I grew up with, right?
Right.
But for the majority, you said the 99%, I fucking hate 99% of the music. And nobody's ever going to change my mind on it. And when I listen to a lot of people listen to mainstream stuff, I just do not get it. It's just not for me. That's just the way I put it. I will agree with your take 100%. Most music is all ass, but I think it goes back to the original point we made earlier was whatever music you deem cool is what you think is cool, and everybody else's music sucks. Right. You're that old grumpy person, oh, you like this music, your music sucks. That's how I used to think. Mm-hmm. I still kind of do think that, but I don't say it to anybody anymore because if that's what they like, well, then it was made for them. That's the kind of music they like.
They got their opinion, I got mine.
I think I don't really like pop culture country. Everybody can sing along to it.
God.
Everybody can drink to it. Everybody can party to it. And it's like,
Right.
I feel like it's more of a culture than it is really about the music, because there's so many people that want to be cowboys and think they are and they're not, you know?
Exactly.
And so many women that enjoy it because it's a hot cowboy singing it, or because they can relate to it, because that's what they think is supposed to be like the ideal person. Like, oh, my man's supposed to take
Wear
me.
Wranglers and wear boots and, cowboy hats.
Have a truck. I like trucks, but I'm not going to drive in dirt roads and pretend that I'm a
Right.
cowboy.
While drinking Budweiser.
Yeah, drinking Budweiser and smoking Marlboro Reds.
Right.
Cowboy killers.
Cowboy killers.
Yeah, but it's like if I lived in a place where like I grew up as a cowboy, it would just be natural. Like it just happened. I think there's just so many people that want to be something that they're not.
Exactly.
I think we talked about it before. It's like I don't play dress up like I'm a metalhead.
People do not want to be what they want to, with what they are.
Yeah.
The person they are. They don't want to be them.
I wear hockey clothes because I like hockey. But if I wear metal clothes because I like metal bands, it'd just be who I am. I don't just go play dress up. When I go to a Blues game, I don't just wear a Blues outfit because I like hockey.
Right. I am one of those people for like, especially metalheads, that if I'm wearing something of that band, I can name more than 10 songs by that band or whatever, and not be the most popular songs. A lot of people, metal has become so partly mainstream that people wear a Metallica shirt because it looks fashionable.
I was gonna say, you just made my point. There are so many. I'm sorry, women. Sorry, I'm gonna call you out because this is a women thing. There are so many girls I see wearing like Pearl Jam shirts, Metallica shirts, Aerosmith shirts, whatever, Van Halen. They're like going to a concert and they might be really trendy or hip, whatever, because it's like the in thing to do now. A lot of girls wearing clothes or whatever. And you guys come up from the street and they're like, "Hey, you like Metallica?" And they mean 10 songs or 5 songs, and they can't name
3.
one.
They can't even name 3.
And it's like, you're the problem with the world. I mean,
Exactly.
sure, they might. How can you wear a band shirt and not know nothing about them?
Exactly.
They
could be wearing a Cannibal Corpse because they like horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
But can you name one fucking Cannibal Corpse song? No, they can't.
No,
It's ridiculous.
It's weird to me. I just wouldn't wear it. I get it. It's a fashionable thing, and that's people are just trying to fit in or whatever. But
still, dude, come on.
you
You look stupid when people call you out.
it's like the people that go out and wear army clothes and try to steal people's valor because they want to get kudos and like thanks for our service and all
Yeah.
stuff. It's like you're a weird fucking person that wants to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Same thing I think with band shirts. I don't wear band shirts unless I know the band. I don't. And all the band shirts I do have, I never even wear because I don't want to get anything wrong. I'm afraid to mess them up or whatever. But I wouldn't wear band shirts. That thing does bother me. So, any spicy opinions that people disagree with me? I would say, if I have spicy opinions, it's stuff I don't want to talk about on the podcast, or it's political stuff because it's just stuff like that, or it could be religion, or it could be anything like that. Those kind of things I'm just not going to bring up because it's stupid. It doesn't do anything good. If I could think of one while I'm sitting on the podcast, that was more catered towards you. I wanted to give you one that was more for
Yeah,
you.
I liked it. I like it.
So
Yeah.
I don't really have any spicy opinions at the moment, but if maybe
I have so much more, but like you said, I can get in trouble with it. So or
Yeah,
we would get in trouble.
yeah, I think my one is like if you don't like South Park, you're close-minded. So that's one with me. I can say it's a spicy opinion, but that's just me. So I'll move on from that topic, but here's another one I think you'll be good is this is something I think anybody that's been in a relationship can speak on. What are red flags in a relationship?
God, dude, there's so fucking many.
I know, but everybody's got their own, so I want to hear yours. I want to hear
Mine. Major daddy issues.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've been with so many younger girls. The biggest gap I've had was I was going out with a 21-year-old and I was 33 or 34 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But stuff like that. Ones who cannot laugh at because I know I'm hilarious. And yes, my humor is very dark sometimes, but someone who can't laugh at my jokes. It's like, dude, that's just, you have to have some kind of sense of humor. You can't just sit there and talk, politics or religion or movies without having a fucking sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it's just a little joke here and there or dad jokes or something like that, something to get you to laugh, because laughter is like a great fucking medicine. People don't realize that you could have to be the most depressive person and then go talk to one person, they make you laugh your ass off. They made your fucking day. They might have made your whole fucking week.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. To me, if you don't have a sense of humor, I don't even want to talk to you. I don't even want to pretend I know you, because you have to have that. People who don't like trying to say people don't like red flags. Women who do not like animals. I'm not a huge animal lover, but I'm enough where if I see a little cat on the side of the road, I'm going to go pick it up, or I'll stop for a dog crossing the road, stuff like that. You got to be some kind of animal lover.
That's definitely a red flag for me.
Because people suck.
I don't. I'll interject in your
Go ahead.
point is, I don't care people that kill deer and hunt and do stuff for sport and they actually eat it and do stuff. But people that just kill animals for fun are fucking weird people to me. So I'll never get it. I'll never be one of those people. But if I had to survive and kill deer and do stuff with cows,
that's different. That's different.
different situation. But people that do it as a sport, I don't have a problem with it. But people that like just go like trophy hunt and animals and do stuff, I've never been about. I think they're fucked up, and I don't like people like that. They're gonna kill an elephant or an old lion, and all they do is pay $50,000 to some guy in South America and kill a lion sitting out in the field.
Come on, dude.
Dude, you're a pussy. That's just the way I look at it. But yeah, I think it's a red flag majorly if they don't like animals, you know, and maybe they never grew up with animals. There's a guy down the street from me. I'm not going to name his name. It's one of my neighbors, but he doesn't like animals, and he didn't grow up with animals. So I think that's the reason why. He doesn't want to deal with them, and he doesn't want them. So I could see people, and you know what? If that's who you are, at least you know, and you don't want animals. You're not going to abuse them or not take care of them.
Right.
Those are. I'd rather you have people that are like, hey, animals aren't just for me.
Right.
Don't hate them. They're just not. I don't want to have pets.
Right.
Okay. I can see that, but it's like having kids and not wanting your kids. It's the same thing in my opinion.
Right.
Red flags in a relationship. Do you got any more?
There's probably more. I just can't think off the top of my head.
All right. Well, I'll let you stew for a minute. Red flags for me. When there's no communication.
Oh, definitely. You gotta have that.
The lack of communication is always a red flag. People who are closed-minded. I moved it. That's a big one for me. It bothers me.
I wonder if she knows you're talking about her.
I'm not talking about her. I'm just talking about in general.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about people that can't take jokes because I have a good sense of humor, and people that get offended by jokes, everything I do. Like my wife, sometimes she doesn't get my humor, or that she thinks I'm being she thinks I'm being too sarcastic. I can't tell when you're being serious when you're not being serious, and it's like you can tell because the tone of my voice when I'm doing stuff. I think she just says it on purpose because she gets pissed.
Yeah.
So she doesn't like that, so I'm calling my wife out on that one. But yeah, so like sense of humor is a red flag to me. It's like you got to be able to take a jokes and enjoy life a little bit, right? Like
I love the girls who could take jokes and dish them right back. I love it when they throw it back.
I like that too.
Not just the jokes.
Not like a serious jab. I'm talking about like a lighthearted, funny. Yeah, not like getting personal.
Not saying, if I say something to you and you go, your fucking mother died. And
yeah.
It's like, dude.
People that take it to the extreme.
Dude, tone it down. I threw you a 1. Don't be so intense.
Red flags more. I would say to me is someone who doesn't like pizza. That's a red flag to me. Don't know why, but if you don't like pizza, there's something that's wrong with you.
I know so many people who don't too. That's the problem.
Really?
Yeah.
So, funny story is my wife didn't like pizza when we first started dating.
What?
And she's like, "You're eating pizza?" She's like, "Yeah, I don't want that." I'm like, "Look."
She chose Jack in the Box over pizza?
No. I don't know what she chose.
Yeah,
Taco Bell, maybe.
Probably.
So she didn't like pizza, but that's because when she grew up, her parents ate like vegetable pizza and like other pizza.
I understand that.
And she's like, I don't like this pizza. So she thought all pizza was associated with that.
Oh, God.
So I said, let's broaden your horizon. So I brought her some good pizza places, and now she loves
That's all
pizza.
she eats.
No, she doesn't eat like that, but I wish she did. But then we'd be big as a house.
Right.
So she doesn't like it now. Funny. That's something that was cool. I changed in her. But yeah, people that don't like pizza are red flags to me.
Didn't think about that one.
I think people who are closed-minded and red flags in a relationship, not closed-minded just, but just in general, that don't like video games. Yeah, I don't know why, because I'm a gamer. Maybe that's just something stupid. That's something small that with me.
That's your thing,
flag. Red flag. If you don't like hockey, red flag to me. Sorry, you gotta like hockey. But you got any more funny red flags?
I'm trying to think of some funny. You want funny ones?
Yeah, just funny ones.
Shoot, let me think here. I knew a girl who was very, very, very obsessed with clowns.
That's weird.
And ICP and stuff like that. She was a major juggalo. And to me, it's like, I can't deal with you. It's not because you're part of a gang or they're associated with being a gang or anything like that. It's just, I know how some juggalos are. Also, major druggies or junkies. Ones that don't have a job because they ask for money.
Yeah. That's definitely a red flag.
I can deal with mentally unstable people a lot because I have a lot of patience. But the ones that are just every single day, it's like, oh, woe is me, oh, woe is me. The narcissistic ones that think everything should be about them.
Meme.
No, not just her. There's a few people I know there. I'm not calling out, but if they listen to this, they know it's them.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's all they do. Everything is self-centered. With everything is them.
Mm-hmm.
Why did so and so do this? Why did so and so not call me? Why did it's like, dude? And then they were like, oh, woe is me. Why can't I get a boyfriend? Well, if you think about it, they're not the problem. It's you, and they don't realize it's them being the problem. That is the only common factor in each of her relationships, is that every single guy she's gone out with, she's just been too fucking, or they've been too mental. It's like, okay, I can deal with this, but why are you like this? What makes you think you are so special? The world has to revolve around you. It's not all about you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there are other people in your life, and then on the same page, whatever, there's also the ones that are ungrateful. Like you give them your ear, talk to them for 2 or 3 weeks, whatever, let them vent to you, but then when you need a vent or something like that, it's like they're not around,
Right?
Or those people who don't thank you for your shoulder, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
Because if anyone who knows me, I'm literally everyone's shrink. People come to me about all their problems.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard anything from periods to hemorrhoids and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
and everything in between. And just some people are just very ungrateful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a doctor. I admit I'm not a doctor, but I'm a great shoulder. I'm a great listener. Even people who I've just met, my saying with them is, strangers make the best listeners.
They do.
Because they don't know you. They can't judge you. I don't judge anybody. If you want to do something outrageously stupid, okay, that's you.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you my opinion on it.
I think that holds a lot of merit. What you said. That's why there is psychologists, because it's a stranger that won't judge you. It's not family.
Exactly.
It's not a friend.
Exactly.
And I'll be honest, dude. There's days, and I've been thinking about this lately. Sometimes when I go talk to a psychologist, just to go vent to somebody, to talk to somebody, to get my problems out.
Yeah.
That's not.
You're the shrink. The shrink needs a shrink, so to say.
Right. Like everybody's got things bottled up. Like
Yeah.
I can vent to you. I can vent to my dad.
Yeah.
I used to vent to my buddy Sam all the time. He was kind of like my psychologist, or whatever, that wouldn't judge me. And
Right.
He really was.
Right.
And now that I don't have like those, if you don't have those outlets to do that, people want to yell at people and scream all their shit out. That's why psychology exists. Just for a healthy thing. My dad even said, he's like, I went and saw one for years. I didn't need one, but I just wanted to go talk to somebody.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, it was really healthy. It was like a real thing. If anybody's listening to this that has those things, go talk to a psychologist.
Yeah.
It really
Go talk
does
to
help.
somebody.
If you got real fucked up problems or something that's going on, everybody's got their own things they deal with, right?
Right.
And I get stressed out easy about stuff. I've literally thought about going to talk to one just to see what it was about, just to go see do I like this?
Is this for me?
Is it for me? Can I go vent things out that I can't get out to other family and friends? Because family and friends don't always want to listen to the same bullshit over and over again. And plus, everybody's got their own stuff going on. So
Right.
The ones that care will listen, and they try their best, like you do, or whatever, with your friends or whoever, or it doesn't matter what the situation is. Some people have a knack for that and they can do it, but at the same time, there is a point where you probably need to go talk to someone and get more professional help. Not saying drugs, or you have to go turn to drugs or pills to help you, but sometimes just getting things off the talk, like you said, talking to a stranger really is the best medicine for it. I've thought about it too, because sometimes my anxiety flares up, or I'm really stressed out and I can't get anybody to listen to me or bend my ear. It's like, well, who can I call, or what can I do? I think Ghostbusters, exactly. Or I just go, like a lot of people, I just go beat the shit out of something or something. That's a lot of people. That's how they get their frustrations or anger out. So there's different outlets for everybody. Psychologist might be one of them. You might be Tim Bradley, the psychologist. I mean, who fucking knows? So,
You said my last name.
anybody listening to this podcast knows you are. You're Timothy Bradley.
Shut up.
Raphael.
What the fuck? Michelangelo.
Cowabunga.
Cowabunga, dude.
So that's it. Red flags in relationship. I mean, there's more.
Oh, there's plenty more.
There's plenty more. I was just funny talk.
Yeah.
So here's another good one I did. This one we can probably talk for a while. What do you think a friendship means to you? And if after you get that out, or what is a healthy one? If what should it look like? I guess in that opinion.
A friendship is basically someone who's there for you when you need them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it could be just a friendship. It could be even more than a friendship. It could be a friends with benefits kind of thing. It could be someone you consider a real good friend. Like you consider them a brother or a sister, like a family member.
Mm-hmm.
But basically anybody who's there for you.
Yeah.
Because that's what friendship's for.
Yeah.
If I'd give pretty much everybody, I will say almost everybody I know, I would give them the shirt off my back.
Mm-hmm.
If it was 30 degrees outside and they're freezing, I'd give them my coat. You know, that kind of stuff. But there's other people who are outside my circle that I could just like, oh, you're cold? Okay, here, suck it up or something like that. I give them a little tough love.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when they only call me when they need something, which I know gets a lot of people's nerves for that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's true. There are people out there who just use you for whatever, their benefit, and it sucks. But with friendship-wise, I think it's just someone who's there for you.
Yeah, I think that's a great explanation of it. To me, same thing. They have to be there for you. I've always thought of friendship is, I think we've talked about it maybe a little bit before, it's like a relationship. It's kind of like you're not married or with somebody, but it's like you're involved with somebody to a point where, like you said, you're there for them. You can talk to them when you need them. If you ask for help, you want to go do something together. It doesn't matter what it is. They're always there to be part of your life, and they want to be part of your life, right?
Yeah.
And they actually care about you, right?
Right.
Like you said, go ahead.
See, even people who just remember you, like the little things. Like, your son's 5 years old. He knows me as Uncle Boogeyman or Uncle Tim. I've only seen him a good handful of times, but he knows who I am.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's like a friendship. I mean, granted, yes, he has family, but it's like a friendship kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
He makes me laugh whenever I see him. Me and him play with each other and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff. Somebody who makes you feel good or like can brighten up your room. Like if Lincoln walked down the stairs right now, I'd be happier than hell because I'm like, hey, it's Lincoln.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff because he just has that thing with him. Some people are like that.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think the other thing about it is when you hear your friendship's name, you get excited.
Exactly.
Like if I heard your name, I get excited. I'm like, oh, who's talking about Tim? Or like if I hear my buddy Brandon's name, it gets me excited because he's my friend. Because I know he actually cares about me and likes me. And same thing with you. If I have an opinion on something, he's gonna listen or actually bend his ear for me. But there's other people that I consider friends, but like you said, they're only friends when they want to be friends, right? And they're
associates, so to say.
Yeah, they're associates. They're acquaintances.
Acquaintances. That's it.
They're not real friends.
Yeah.
And as you get older, you kind of figure that out really, really quick. Especially when you have to get to like college and like high school, and you move on. Like you'll see the ones that stick around and what they don't. I know we've touched on this before, but to me, what makes a friendship and what's healthy is just putting effort into your friendship. Like you want to be friends with this person. Not saying you have to hang out with them every day and suck their fucking dick, but
that helps.
That does help sometimes. Sometimes friends do need that. But what I'm saying is like just being like around, like you care, like, hey man, what's up? How's your day going? Once in a while, it could be once a week. You could say that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Even if it's a text message or a phone call.
I found a meme that reminds me of you.
A meme, I send people reels and memes that are my friends all the time, especially me and you that have catalogs of reels.
Every single social media we have, we share.
Yeah.
Except for YouTube.
Yeah. And dark web.
Right. That we know of.
Just stuff like that.
Yeah.
To me, it's just putting effort into the relationship. If you text me and you want me to see something or be part of something, obviously you care. That's just the way I look at it, Other people might have different associations with friendships are, but to me, it's our relationship with somebody, and you put effort into it. That's it. As we get older, it gets harder. But the ones that want to stick around and want to be your friends, they're there. And the ones that don't, they're not. So that's why I said people figure out real quick. You go from when you're kids and you're immature, family to friend, back to family, because you realize family's always there and they care about you. Friends sometimes are there, and most of the time they're not.
Yeah. I can actually say there's 3 guys right now that I have been friends with since junior high. That's 30 years now, and we still chat with each other all the time.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Like I said, I rekindled my friendship with Todd. And now we talk every day.
Right.
I didn't talk to the guy for almost 5 years. He would have been my wedding if he lived here or whatever. Right. He had problems with drugs.
I haven't talked to you for almost like 10.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't talk to him since you've been.
Let's see. I haven't talked to you. In not 10 years, like 6 or 7 years. I haven't talked. At least that I haven't talked to you.
Yeah.
And then I found you on Facebook.
Yeah. Which is weird, and I was like, I remember you messaged me. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
Who's Bo Ogie Man?
Yeah, who's Boogeyman? I didn't put 2 and 2 together. I'm like, who is this guy? I'm like, how's he know me?
He's commenting on my was it your bachelor party pictures or whatever.
Yeah, and let me rephrase what I was saying. Yeah. my friend Todd had problems with drugs. He struggled with
Yeah.
drugs, and he left to go to Colorado to get away from the people and the environment and everything. And he got clean, and dude, he's doing really good for himself.
Good.
I'm really happy for him.
Good.
Like, he's got a good job. He's bought a house. He's got a kid. He's got a wife, whatever. To me, he texted me the other day, and this made me feel good. He goes, I never thought me and you would be the only ones out of our friends that actually made something of their lives.
Right.
I thought that was cool. Like, him saying that to me, like, made me feel really good. I'm like, hey man, I'm glad that you look at me like that. Like, hey, Randy's doing something positive with his life, or like he's actually like cares and like did something.
Right.
He's like, most of my friends have turned into drug addicts, or they've died, or I don't know what the fuck happened to them. And it's like, hey man, we'll always be lifelong friends. That's the way I look at it, right? As long as we stay, make an effort to be friends. I'll always be your friend, is what I told him.
Right.
I was like, I've always considered you a good lifelong friend. So like, and I'll shut up about that after this, but it's like things like that is what makes a good friend. Like, to me. And we didn't talk for 5 or 6 years, and to me, we're always friends until the time he told me we weren't friends. Like, sometimes you find these friends that you takes like a huge effort, like you're pulling teeth, I've said before, to talk to them. Those kind of people I have nothing in common with. I've had lifelong friends I thought were my friends, and like now I talk to them and I can't get a word out of them. And I'm like, this is so weird. I feel so awkward hanging out with someone I've known for 15, 20 years. It's just like we're acquaintances now,
Yeah.
Cool, we can reminisce about the good old times and then see you bye. That's all we do. That's why I don't like really hanging out with those people. I'm still cordial with them, just don't put any effort into friendship because they don't,
Right.
It was a one-way street.
Right.
So like my next question was like, when do you move on from those kind of people, right? Like when do you move on from friendships?
Basically when they start ghosting you. I mean, there's, like I said, the guys I know for 30 years, I cannot talk to them for like 2-3 months and then text them one time. It's just like we just left the next day. I can do that with you. I cannot talk to you for like a week or so, and then I text you one thing, and it's just like the very next day. We continue the conversation. But yeah, that for some people who ghost you, or like you said, don't put any effort to it. That's friendship goes both ways. If like I tell people all the time, they're like, "Well, why don't you call me?" I'm like, well, "Why don't you call me?" It goes both ways with that. Phones go both ways. I'm at fault because I didn't call you. Well, you're just as at fault as because you don't call me. And it's just with people who don't show that they care at all, or even if they show very little effort to want to hang out with you, or even just to see how you're doing, or hell, I can tell you right now, and I will call. I won't say any names, but I'll call the kind of people out. When I was in the hospital, there's maybe I can say 5 people who got a hold of me to see how I was doing.
Was I one of them?
Yes, you were one of them,
Yeah.
Of course. But other than that, I can't not. I saw maybe 3 people, which is fine. I don't have to see people while I'm in the hospital. But as long as somebody makes a Facebook post or texts me, calls me, or even tells Jen to tell me that, hey, how's he doing? That'll make my day. But if you don't say anything like that, I mean, I could have fucking died for all I know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that I don't talk to, like I said, all the time because I don't call them, they don't call me thing. I could die and they wouldn't even fucking know about it.
Yeah.
That not just scares me. It's just like, what kind of friendship is that? What kind of the person is that won't even pick up the phone to give me a 2-second text and say, hey man, what's going on?
Yeah.
Or are you all right? Are you alive? Or how's your leg? Or
that's what I kind of get mad about too. It's like, what world do we live in that there's nobody that doesn't have their phone on them 24/7?
Exactly.
If you call somebody and text them like, hey man, how you doing, or something like that, it takes you 30 seconds to text somebody.
While you're taking a shit, sit down. When you're all settled in, hey man, what's going on?
I know.
Done.
I'm positive. So I'll tell you what happens with me, and I think a lot of people this happens to with, or some people just they don't mean to do it, and obviously it could be a double-edged sword. Has sneaked up in there. So to me, what happens is I'm the guy who's always making the effort.
Right.
Okay. I'm pretty good about making an effort to try to stay and rekindle things or try to be positive stuff.
Keep continuing.
Yeah, and I'll just say this because I don't care because this guy's never listened to my podcast anyway. But my buddy Aaron, when we grew up or whatever, he lived down the street from me. Still always a good friend to me, always a nice guy. He was my best man at my wedding. But like since he's had a kid and he stopped working in where I work at or whatever, like we used to talk more, but we don't talk all the time. And when we do, he always like, hey man, let's hang out on stuff. I would make an effort and he would never respond, or like things would always come up. And I was like, fuck this guy. If he wants to hang out with me, he can make the goddamn effort. Why is it always me? When he went away to college, he was like, yeah, I'll reach out to you, come out and hang out with me and party at college. Never reached out to me. I was like, fuck it. Didn't care. I was going to call him and ask him to invite me out to go do something. That's weird.
Right.
If you're my friend, you should want to. When he came back in town, Didn't tell me he came back in town. Didn't tell me he got a job where I worked at. I was like, dude, I could give you a referral. Like stuff like that just like irked me. And I was like, you know what? This guy isn't the same person that I used to know. And if he is, then
Where is he?
exactly, where is he? So to me, that's why the friendship stopped. And it's like a lot of these friends you make, you're the guy making the plans, making the efforts, and I got sick of it. So I just don't do it anymore, right?
Yeah, right.
It has to be a two-way street. It can't just be a one-way road. And like you said, once in a while, it's fine. But all the time, no, it's just not happening, right? It's
Right.
like, I've made my peace as I've gotten older. I don't have time to worry about it and stress out about it. I used to stress out about it because I didn't have a lot of friends. As you get older, you just kind of find that out. Like you don't have a lot of close friends. It's just what it is. Unless
Right.
you're like very fortunate and you have 10 close friends, but that for most people, you're lucky if you have one or two.
Yeah.
So to me, when do you end it? You end it when the effort's not there and it's just a one-way street. And you're like, fuck this, I'm done with this stuff. And that's where I kind of just given up,
Right.
And then some people realize it. Now, I've had friends that I've done it to, and they realize it, and then they made an effort, and then we rekindled. Other people, they didn't care. So I was like, obviously, you just showed me where you stand. So,
Right.
That's it. That's the way I look at it.
There you go.
Anything else you want to add to that?
No. I think of
What, your mom?
yes, my mom.
Your mom?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a good one. We kind of talked about it a little bit. Man, I got a lot of good topics. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
What was so this one's about mental health. We'll talk about this one. Okay. What is your biggest challenge, or what is, I guess, the most important thing to you for your mental health? Meaning, like, do you do things on a daily for your mental health? Like, it could be you listen to your favorite musician, your favorite podcast, you read books, anything like that at all. What do you do for your mental health?
Me, if I'm feeling really down, I will watch Three Stooges. I don't know what it is about Three and Beavis and Butthead. Something about those two shows that'll bring me back up to at least level with my head. Because it helps me vent.
Does it have good memories or something?
It has good memories, and it's a lot of times, especially sometimes with horror movies, I can live my life vicariously through like Jason Voorhees. If I'm having a shit day and he's beating a camp counselor with another camp counselor's body, I was like, dude, that's me. That's me beating somebody or beating two people at one time. That kind of thing. I can live vicariously through those characters, and it makes me feel good. I'd rather me vicariously live through Freddy, Jason, and all them than actually going out and doing it myself.
Right.
Because I there's some things in my head that just piss me off so fucking much, and I can open up to some people about it, but I don't say everything because I'm afraid of what the repercussions. Because I've actually talked to people where I've opened up all the way and almost literally had cops at my door every day checking on me, that kind of stuff, or they give me a number for a psychologist and kind of shit. I'm saying, no, I don't want that anymore. I don't want that. So I think watching Beavis and Butthead and Three Stooges or horror movies and listening to music.
Okay.
I have to every single day listen to something that I like to keep me sane, so to say.
Keep grounded.
Yeah, keep me grounded. There's no pills that I take that help or with that. I'm on 2 or 3 antidepressants kind of thing, and I could still take those, but I have to have one of the other, Beavis and Butthead.
You have to have an outlet. Your outlets.
Yeah, that's my outlet for right now, because since my hands are fucked, I can't play guitar anymore. I can write music, but it has to be on the computer. I can't write things down. I could do my own journal, whatever, on the computer now and stuff like that. But there's just something about those. I have to have at least something to keep me grounded.
Yeah. For me, kind of the same thing. Hockey's my vice and outlet, so I need hockey to vent and get out stress, whatever, and it brings me happiness. It's the only place in the world where my mind goes blank. I don't think about nothing but hockey. I don't know if I said this before, but I feel like it's just everybody's got something like that, and you got to discover what it is. That's my medicine. It's my happiness place I go to. Besides just hockey, though, I listen to podcasts to help me out. I don't listen to them every day, but it's something I do. Podcasting with you helps. I'd say also, if I had to say anything else that really helps my mental health, talking to friends and family help, and being busy keeps me, my mental health. I struggle with anxiety. So if I sit around and don't do stuff, I think about dumb shit and I worry about dumb shit. So to me, that's something that I have to continue to do. I like to be a busybody, so it doesn't matter if it's projects around the house or just something I invest in time into. Say South Park does make me happy. It's why I have my room the way I have it, because my game room, because it brings me happiness. So like being in there sometimes calms me down and relaxes me. But also I think there's something to what you said earlier. It's just like you find something and you gravitate toward it. And it's always been hockey for me. It's always going to be a stress reliever in hockey. It's just what it is for me. So that keeps me mental health in check. But I'd say it's everything encompassed in one, man. You have one thing, but you got to have a little bit more than just one outlet. But like the TV show thing and movies, I go back to comforting shows and movies that I like that bring me happiness. Same thing. So it's a lot. I have a lot encompassed in mine because I have a lot of issues with myself. So that's what I have to do to keep myself sane a lot of the times, my mental health. But am I perfect? No. Do I have off days? I've had off weeks. I'm having an off week in the last week with mine. I've been stressing out and having terrible anxiety. But, there's times for like 6 years, 7 years, I didn't have any. And I'm like, everything's perfect. Everything's even keel. I'm not saying I don't get stressed out or stuff doesn't happen, but my anxiety and everything's in check. And it's like now, something might spark it or whatever happens. You go to a doctor appointment or whatever and it changes something with you. That's what happened with me. And it's just like, it's annoying. But I'll get through it. I know I will. Right. So mental health, having people like you to talk to and vent to and stuff like that, if I didn't, I probably would need a psychologist to go talk to, just because the vent, it's healthy. Venting is healthy, is very healthy, and getting things off your chest. Keeping shit in all the time doesn't always work. But like you're saying, I don't like drugs. I don't resort to taking anything unless I really, really, really need it. Everything else is you can mostly beat and do it on your own. That's the way I look at it. You have to be your own doctor and best advocate. So mental health is always one I'm going to struggle with. I think a lot of people struggle with, but if I had to say anything, it's hockey for me. It's my number one thing.
Yeah, that's okay.
Video games are one of them too. Like because it's quiet, I can zone into it. I can forget about it. Same thing with movies, music. I don't really get to do that with podcasts sometimes, but that's it. Here's a little quick question: what is since it's part of the recap, what is your favorite podcast of the year that we've done so far?
That we've done? Mm-hmm. I kind of like the South Park one. The Halloween one was good. Maybe Kevin Smith. There's bits and pieces of those ones that I liked. If we put them together, that would be like the ultimate one for me. Mm-hmm. But if I had to pick, if you put a gun in my head, if I had to pick one, it'd probably be the Halloween one.
I knew it was gonna be Halloween for you.
Because we touched on so many things that just nostalgic stuff for us,
Mm-hmm.
And I liked it, that we talked about the trunk or treat and stuff like that. We gave our opinions on horror movies and stuff like that, and that's my wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
I agree. It's between the Halloween one and the South Park one for me because I love South Park so much.
South Park won't be yours.
Huh?
I figured the South Park won't be yours.
I think it probably is, but the Halloween was really close with it too. I think it's one of those two. But I do like to go on the random. I do enjoy our ones where we just have good topics and random topics. I don't know. The one before South Park was really good. Our podcast. So the one with family members and I like that one a lot. That was a really good one. It's really hard for me to pick. I mean, obviously South Park's my favorite thing in the world, one of them. So I'd have to say it's probably that one. Or actually, I don't know, dude. I like them all. I'll use South Park quote. I like them all. I enjoyed them all. I enjoy every single one that we do this year. But
I love the fact that every single one we say, you say the words double-edged. We've always mentioned Kevin Smith. There's always something about Halloween, and something about movies. Always, and I think every single one that we've done.
I think that's just us.
Yeah,
it's just what it is. What it is.
And our rabbit holes that we fall down that we get so off topic. It's not even funny.
Well, that's what makes a good podcast.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
you get lost in your words and your thoughts.
Yeah.
So that favorite podcast here, just recap. That's what it was. It probably was the South Park one, but Halloween is probably right there. That was probably my second one, and then probably the family one.
Yeah.
Christmas one is up there, but I think our one last year was one of my favorite ones. That Christmas one we did the year before with the movies and stuff in it.
Yeah.
I just had so much fun with that one we did.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So let's see about the next topic. We'll move on from that one. I think I got 3 more, and then we'll try to get wrapped up and do your stuff as well. Here's a question: what is your favorite childhood memories or sparks from nostalgia that give you childhood memories? I'll go first, so you can think about it because this is a really hard one to think. Okay, so I have really strong childhood memories. Obviously, if I go to my parents' house,
Right.
okay. Anytime I'm on my mom and dad's back porch, I don't know if I've brought this up before or not, but I'm just gonna bring it up anyway. If I go back there and I'm by myself, dude, I just get hit with a wave of nostalgia from like all of my friends. We used to sit back there and get high and drink, or just party, hang out in the pool, or just sit back there with my mom and dad and just kick it or whatever. I always have really good memories back there, especially in like a really nice day and it's quiet. I'm like, I don't know why all this stuff just comes to me and I get really happy.
Yeah.
That in my basement, obviously, because we spent so many years in my basement with my friends. I can walk around pretty much any part of my neighborhood and get the same thing because I was like, hey, I remember when we did this and this. And it's kind of cool going back and reminiscing, going back like through my neighborhood, like, hey, that's where we played hockey, or hey, that's where we used to play football, or hey, that's where I got my first kiss or felt my first boob, or, you know, it could be anything like that at all for a guy, right? And it could be, it's different.
Right.
It's probably different for a girl. But those memories come to me. It's like, man, I spent so many days, hours in this parking lot playing hockey with my friends, or swimming in that pool, or getting in trouble over here, or pissing in somebody's mailbox. You know, it could be anything. I'm just making shit up now. But, you know, stuff like that. And it's like, it's probably my old neighborhood. It's probably where I feel it. Mostly my parents' house, where I get a lot of memories. And sometimes, I'll be honest, like sometimes when I'm by myself outside and it's a cold night, or I'm sitting outside and it might be smoking or just chilling out there. Can you make any more noise?
Yes, I can.
Stop. I think it is something to do with just being alone and being alone in my thoughts. Sometimes I think positive things come to me. Even with Christmas. Even like during Christmas, I had the same thing around Christmas time. I get a lot of nostalgia around Christmas because of what happens. But favorite childhood memories in general, man, I'd have to say hang out with all my friends in my house. It has to be my favorite. I mean, and a close second, it's probably going to be Christmas. And that's probably the closest thing, or Halloween or something like that. It always involves hanging out with family and friends. So to me, those are always the memories I made. So that's mine. Favorite childhood memories, probably hanging out with all my friends and you guys in my basement and stuff.
I think for me, it's because I grew up in this neighborhood. You know, during we moved over here when I was in fourth grade.
In Florissant?
Yeah, Florissant, North County, and
North County.
Just seeing North County. We just seeing things like, oh yeah, I remember this was Walmart. Oh, the Walgreens used to be here. You know, stuff like that. And now it's like, you know, we're getting a Bed Bath and Beyond or whatever they're fucking called. We're getting one of those now. It's just like seeing this old neighborhood and just reminiscing about, you know, being on the school good bus. You know, get a BJ on the bus and stuff like that, or just like random things around this neighborhood alone. It just takes me back, and to good times and bad times. You know, walking to school all the time, and it's just hanging out with friends and having fun. You know, my buddy Sam had his car, and you know, we used to egg people's cars, or we'll throw fireworks underneath someone's car. We even threw a smoke bomb on somebody's car, and it bounced underneath and actually into the car, into it. And we've done it with fireworks and stuff, just like stuff like that. Just all the stupid shit we got away with.
The little things like that make the good memories.
Exactly.
You know, like when you can go back and you can see, and I honestly do. Sometimes I forget about stuff, and it just comes to me randomly.
Yeah,
I like when that kind of stuff happens to me. I think everybody kind of gets that with nostalgia.
You see something that triggers you, and it's like, oh yeah, I remember when.
Or it's deja vu.
Yeah.
You know, like, hey,
exactly.
I've been here before. I've done this before. Where am I at? Like, when did this happen?
I know exactly what's going to happen next. You know, yeah.
I get that a lot through my neighborhood, a lot through my family's house, but it happens randomly in random places as well. But those are the fun times to remember that kind of stuff. It could be anything. It could just be simple as me playing hockey in the street. Like now I'm playing hockey in the street with my son. I've been doing it the last couple of days playing with Lincoln. And I'm like, man, this brings back good memories. Like me sitting here. I'm like, my dad never came out and did with me because he was never home. But I always had 25 friends around. So it was always like, we're going to play hockey today. Or we're going to play baseball today. Or we're just going to fuck off today and go break somebody's shit and laugh about it and then get in trouble later. You know, like we're mischievous, you know, boys. Right. Those are always fun times to me. I like remembering that stuff. And like you said, like that's probably why I am such a creature of habit and I live in the same area I grew up, maybe the same reason you do right now, because I'm comfortable. I know where everything is. And yeah, I do like to be like, hey man, that used to be nothing there. Why? I hate that I have to see apartments here now, or the Walgreens used to be over here, or the McDonald's used to be here, or the Jack in the Box, or my favorite Blockbuster now is turned into a Napa Auto Parts because it's the same colors and it bothers me if I drive by it. Shit like that. It's like, man, I wish my kids got to experience it. But at the same time, it's like I remember all the good times. I'm a junkie for nostalgia, dude. Like if there was a drug that I could shoot myself with nostalgia, I'd probably fucking end up doing it.
Definitely.
It'd definitely be my heroin of choice or marijuana of choice, whatever, my drug of choice. So
definitely, dude.
I guess those are my favorite childhood memories, or what sparks my nostalgia is stuff from my house.
Yeah, your neighborhood.
My neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's because where I spent the majority of my time was a kid.
Right,
And,
yeah.
you know, if it was anywhere else, I'd probably be somewhere else. But I could name 100 things off the top of my list of and they're all revolved around my friends and family and stuff like that. Mostly my house, mostly playing games, mostly getting high, and mostly making fun of people and getting in trouble. But, you know, all the fun stuff, and playing hockey, of course.
Exactly, of course.
Anything else you want to add for that?
We hit it there.
Oh, your dad this time?
Yes.
Okay.
Grandma. Game.
So the next one I have for you is, I guess, kind of my random question at the end.
Oh.
One of them, I guess we'll go with the question.
Just go.
Yeah. If you had to flip a coin for $10 million, it's 50-50. So if you flip the coin, either win $10 million or you win nothing. Or if you're guaranteed $100,000, which one you going for and taking?
Fuck. You know, I'm a gambler too, so I would try to flip the coin.
And why?
Why? Just because I'm a gambler. I mean, I'm happy with where I'm at right now, but if I had $10 million, it would change some things, but it wouldn't change everything. It would change my life dramatically. My school debts would be paid off. Jen's would be paid off. All the bills would be paid off. We'd probably pay the house off and move somewhere else. Stuff like that. It would make me happier if I won the $10 million. But if I just get the $100,000, yeah, that would make me happy too, because I would do pretty much the same thing and keep the rest of it or sit on it, whatever. So, I mean, just because I'm a gambler, I'd go for the $10 million.
Yeah.
Because there's a 50-50 shot I'd get it.
Right. So I had time to think about this because obviously it was my question, but
right.
It's definitely a loaded question because you take the $100,000, you're guaranteed $100,000.
Right.
And a lot of people, you look at $100,000 a long time ago, a lot of money.
A lot of money, yeah.
Today, still a lot of money for a lot of people. A lot of money for me or for you because I don't have $100,000 in my name, right?
I got $13 more than
Yeah. 13, 15 in Jawbreaker?
Yeah.
Okay.
How'd you know?
Because I saw it upstairs in your wallet.
Oh, okay.
So to me, you take that $100,000. It's not life changing, but you could do a lot of good damage with it. I could pay off the rest of my school.
It'd still make you happy.
There's a lot of things you could do, and you could still save some money on the flip side and do stuff. But it wouldn't be life changing because I make probably close to that a year, and that's nothing nowadays. Making $100,000 now is like making 50 or 60 grand because of inflation, or even 70 grand now.
Right.
But I'm a gambler too. I'd go for the 10 million. And the reason why, just like you said, because if you hit the 10 million, it's life changing. And it might just be life changing for you. It might be life changing for your entire family and other people that you could help out with that money. You can invest it. You can open up your own business, no debt. You can sit back on and open a good retirement, throw $1 million or more. Probably I'd throw a couple in there for retirement because $1 million isn't what it used to be.
Right.
But yes, that is life changing. And if you hit it, great. If you didn't, well, you know what? I can make $100,000 in a year, and it's not going to change my life. But it'd be cool to have guaranteed money. I thought that was a cool question. I saw some guy ask that to a bunch of random people in the street. I'm like, I forgot about it, and randomly it came to me last time. I'm like, you know what? This is a good question. I'm going to ask. So
it's almost like the question I'm going to ask. So it's good. That's funny.
Okay, go ahead. You
ever seen the movie Brewster's Millions?
Of course.
Okay, with Richard Pryor and
Yep.
John Candy. If you were in the same situation, let me tell people who don't know. He was offered $30 million. He had to spend every single bit of it. He could not own anything. He could not give it to charity. He could not just give it away to family members. He could, like I said, he couldn't own any real estate or anything like that. And if he had spent all of it in 30 days, he would inherit $300 million. Now, how would you do that? How would you spend the $30 million?
So the premise of the question is, I remember the movie. I remember what he did. So I'm not going to cheat and say any of the stuff he did. But you're saying you can't retain anything, right?
You cannot own it. You can't go out and buy the blues because it's still in your name. Right. He couldn't go out and buy a car and put it in someone else's name because he still owned it in a way.
Right.
Anything like that, you had to get rid of the fucking money without having anything in return.
Right.
You can't go out and buy a bunch of clothes because you own the clothes. You cannot go out and what else? You can't just go to a church and say, "Hey, here's $1 million" or something like that. You can't give it to St. Jude's or anything like that. You could not give the money away. You had to spend it.
So if I had to spend, so you couldn't say I'm gonna go buy a hockey rink and give it
because you own it.
Because you own it.
You can't buy an Xbox and give it to Lincoln.
Right.
Because you own it. Something like that. You have to spend it.
if I had to spend it,
Yeah.
if I was doing that, I would go out and buy a bunch of food and give it out to people.
That's still
Because right now, the cost of food is so expensive, it'd be very easy to go up to a food shelter and go around and buy a bunch of food and donate it to the food shelter.
technically that's charity, but I'll let you have it.
Well, I mean, how is it not? You don't own food. You
Yeah,
can,
true,
you can
yeah.
buy it and you can give it out to people. So is that like a nuanced thing that people do? No. I mean, did he said it can be charity or can't be charity?
Cannot be charity.
Can't be charity. Well, how's it? It's not really charity. You're not really donating to a charity. You're donating to a food shelter that will give out to charity.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a loophole or not.
Yeah, I'll let you have it.
So I would do something like that. I would
$30 million worth though.
not 30 million.
Okay.
I would probably go to like a theme park and buy everybody's ticket for the day and say it's on the house. So there's something that's kind of giving. It's not charity. It's not whatever.
Right.
Maybe I would go to the malls if they existed back then and buy everybody's Christmas presents at the mall because I don't own it. It's not mine, but I could buy everybody's shit for the day, everybody's stuff in the stores and give it out. I guess it could technically be mine if I bought it, but if I'm buying it for everybody else, it's not technically mine.
Right.
Let's see. Man, it's hard. That's a hard thing to do because everything you buy pretty much becomes yours, right?
Yep.
Unless I sat in the side of the street with $30 million and just started handing money out to people, but that's technically
You're giving out to charity. That technically
you're
giving it away. You're not spending it.
I could in 30 days if I had to spend it. I could do in 30 days.
Do you think you could do it?
I think I could do it. I think what I would do when making that charity, I would take the $30 million and turn it into a Netflix TV show like they did with all the people and make them play games to win it. What's that show called?
Well, still, that's not spending it though.
It's not
No, you have to spend it.
I have to spend it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll have to think a little bit more. What do you have?
Yeah, mine would be have like, not rent. What do you call it? Buy a band for a day, or whatever, and have it like a giant festival, and just and only invite my friends. Have like because a lot of bands nowadays cost $1 million, $2 million just for them to play, but then you got to pay their workers and stuff like that to set up the stage and what have you. Right there's a big chunk of it. Right, your $30 million right there.
Pay Taylor Swift and all of her crew.
Yeah, basically,
$30 million right
shit.
there.
Just Tay-Tay's the $30 million alone. Not counting your crew and big stage and shit like that. But like have a festival of bands I like, and just have a big ass concert for my friends.
Yeah, I can't remember Brewster's Millions. I haven't watched in a while because he was a baseball player, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was in like a minor league team, way low.
The premise of the story is great, but how did he end up spending all his money? I can't remember because I haven't watched it in years.
He had employees. He hired John Candy as his assistant. He hired a photographer. He had his baseball team play against like the Yankees or the Cubs, something like that.
That's right.
I can't remember what else, but stuff like that. He bought a really rare stamp and he sent it back to them on a postcard. So he didn't own it because he gave it away.
I remember that. I never pissed that he did it on the stamp or whatever.
Yeah. He was looking. He was like, I had an idea to do it. I forgot what else, but yeah, he spent every. It took him to the last second to spend it all because remember that one guy had him get a deposit for his house or something like that, and he held on to that money and never gave it back to him because he was shady and gave it back to him towards the end. Yeah, and then he hired the girl as his CPA or whatever, ended up falling in love with her. But yeah, I love that movie. It's funny as hell.
Great movie. I think my dad showed it to me first, and I think I remember you talking.
I think
about
it's on HBO or something like that.
It's on.
I want to watch it again. It's funny as hell.
It's a good movie. Richard Pryor was a good actor.
I love Richard Pryor.
As much as he was a comedian, that's a lot of people want to remember him by because he was a great comedian for the time and what he got to do and like the stuff he got to say.
Oh yeah, he got to get away with it.
Yeah, him, Eddie Murphy around the time, whatever. But Richard Pryor is probably one of the. Some people consider the best comedian. I don't think he's the best, but I think
he's the best black comedian.
Best. I don't know. I think Chappelle's still better.
Well, Chappelle's still good, but if it wasn't for Pryor, it wouldn't be Chappelle.
That's true.
So, that's why I like Carlin over a lot of people because without him there wouldn't be a lot of people there now.
I love Carlin, and the reason I love him too is not just because he was so funny and witty and some of the stuff he come up with, but also because like he talks so much sense about politics and everyday life thing people could relate to. Yeah. And the other thing that was great about it, he wasn't in the politics. He just knew so much. He was very intelligent. Like he said he grew up with parents that were like hippies or something like that, and he just didn't really get involved in a lot of stuff. And as he got older, it just became more of an annoyance. And he's like, man, this is such good stuff I can talk about because everybody can relate to it. So he would just write shit down like a book or whatever. And
That's what they do. That's what comedy is talk about life.
Mm-hmm. You got to make it relatable.
Yeah.
Where everybody's like, hey, I can see that, or
I did that.
Or hey, I still do that.
Right.
That was a good question. I didn't think about anything to do with Brewster's Millions.
That's why when you're talking money earlier, I was like, wait, you're talking about my question already.
Well, I mean, it's such a hard concept to be like, hey, you can spend the money, but you can't spend it, and you can't own anything. So what do you do? And you can't give it away to charity. So they're like, holy fuck, what do I do? That's a great idea. I guess you took his concept and said, I'm gonna, instead of buying a baseball team or renting a team that play like the Yankees, I'm gonna rent, because the Yankees probably was expensive back then.
Yeah, but still not enough where he still had his 30 million, a lot of the 30 million left.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a hard concept to think about.
It is a hard concept to think about, because I wouldn't have thought about that at all. So
I saw a prior stand up the other day, and that's what made me think about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one was it?
I honestly can't remember. It was a real old one from like 72 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was on Prime. And he was it's called Smoking and something, I can't remember, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it was funny as hell.
You're funny as hell.
I know, I
try. So I guess for those questions, I think I have one more on here.
Of course you do.
Where was that? I don't know either.
On your page?
Yeah. Is there any podcast that you listened to that was your favorite this year? I guess that was one of my questions.
Yeah, you said that already.
No, not ours, but just in general.
Any other ones?
I think I forgot to add that in there.
I think it was they stopped doing them at either beginning of the year or the very end of last year. Mm-hmm. There was one called No Fucking Regrets.
Mm-hmm.
It's Rob Flynn from Machine Head interviewing random band people and other band members and other bands, talking about life on the road and shows and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought that was cool because I like to hear stuff that you don't see while you're on stage. Like, you always see the spectacle of the band playing and the lights, sometimes the pyro and stuff like that, but you don't get to hear like, oh, Jimmy, my crew member, got his finger lobbed off because he was testing the pyro and stuff like that. You don't hear about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I like to know the behind the scenes kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in movies, because I love bloopers and outtakes and stuff like that, and when people blub their lines or what have you, I just like seeing that because it's what you don't normally see. As someone told me one time that I'm the kind of person that wants to see the wizard behind the curtain before I see the spectacle.
Right,
which is true.
Mm-hmm.
I even the littlest thing of seeing a band do their pre-warm-up chant or whatever, where they all get together and say, hey, we're going to have a good show, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to kick ass in Milan and what have you. Just the littlest thing like that, it kind of gets me pumped up because it makes me feel like I'm part of the band, I'm part of the crew. And it's very relatable to me because I was kind of a roadie at some point where I could see the behind the scenes kind of stuff. And whenever people see the show, it's like, well, you didn't know what we had to do to get this show the way it was. And,
right.
The band just arrived 5 minutes ago. You guys didn't know because you guys were sitting in this crowd or whatever. That kind of stuff.
Right.
It makes me feel a part of that scene again because I loved being a roadie and hanging out with bands and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's great.
That's good. I guess my favorite podcast here. I mean, you're gonna know. I mean, anybody listening, obviously Joe Rogan. Yeah. That's all I listen to.
I need to start listening to him.
I listen to him because he's the Howard Stern of our day, right? And he has the best guests on, and that's why I like listening to him. I do try to listen to other people. Like I listen to Your Mom's House once in a while. I like listening to comedians that became big because they say funny shit that makes me laugh. Your Mom's House.
I know somebody told me about that. Talking about Garth Brooks was a serial killer and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's cool because it's just they this joke and they bullshit. And it's a lot of locker room talk and guy talk and banter. So it's like, oh, cool. I can relate to this kind of stuff. The reason I stick with Rogan is because he's just the best at what he does, man. Yeah. There's nobody better. I've listened to so many goddamn podcasts, and I try to be open minded. Like I listened to one with Kevin Smith, right? And I gotta bring Kevin Smith into it. Sorry. I listen to him, and I really give him a chance. But sometimes, dude, he's over the top and is too boring with stuff because to me, like, he'll be talking about movies, and he'll get so in the weeds about something that it takes me out of it. Like, he gets really in deep with the comics and stuff like that. Too much in the lore.
Stuff that you don't know about.
Stuff I don't know about, but it doesn't interest me, and I think that's the problem. Right. But there's other times where he's got other good characters, other people that I'm really interested in. It's like when he used to do that comic book show or Comic Book Men.
Yeah.
I would listen and watch it. Not
Yeah.
everything I would like, but I would give it a chance because I like Kevin Smith.
Right.
And just like I try to do with anybody I'm interested in, like I'll listen to Steve-O's podcast once in a while. I like Steve-O. We grew up with Jackass. Fucking love Jackass.
Right.
He has good guests. He has Johnny Knoxville on for the first time. I just listened to that
Wow.
one. That was good. He's had Bam on.
Yeah.
He's had
That'd be an interesting one.
yeah, that one's interesting because he's still in recovery, and I you know grew up. I like Bam a lot, and the shit he
You
went
wanted
through.
to be Bam.
Huh?
You wanted to be. Well, you kind of were Bam.
Dude, if you could take his family and my family and put it together with our friends, it was kind of like I was. Bam
Minus
here.
you beating up your dad.
Yeah,
dude.
but yeah,
The skateboard. You went
Hey, man,
hockey
if
instead of skateboarding.
if there's anybody that we could relate my family to, is my mom was definitely his mom, and my dad was definitely Phil.
I still love it. The first Jackass. I know we're going down a rabbit hole with this
Yeah.
one. The first Jackass movie when April. He's like, I'm gonna get my mom to say fuck by the end of this movie. She's like, that's almost always fucking thing I've ever seen. It's fucking alligator or whatever
In the house?
kitchen. Yeah.
Out in the kitchen, yeah. Those days were good because like
Yeah.
what makes it funny was him torturing his family and all his family. And all they do is they just sit there and roll around and laugh. Like when they paint
Yeah.
the whole kitchen blue and they paint
Phil.
they paint Phil blue like a Smurf.
Yeah.
Everything is blue in the kitchen.
Yeah.
All their stuff, dude. That was so funny.
Or
Like,
don't feed Phil when they put billboards and signs
Yeah,
around the
don't-
whole fucking city.
that was some good stuff. I remember those
that's
days.
again. That's when MTV was good.
Yes, and that's they found somebody that was creative and funny, and he was just a skateboarder.
Exactly.
And he was the same thing. He loved having his friends around him. That's what he wanted. He always had his crew around him. And when his friend and the camera went away, and his best friend died, the depression just came out of nowhere. You know, same thing with Steve-O. He said he couldn't be around. He was so used to the camera being around him that he would sit there and do whippets and like drugs and just record himself because he was so.
And the camera's always there. Yeah.
Cameras over there. He was so in depression that he would, and then he got out of it, and he's doing really good out of all of them
Yeah.
now. But
Steve was great.
I like listening to those stories because I can relate to it. Like those things have some nostalgia and some things we grew up to. But like I try to listen to other podcasts, like we're saying, and it's hard, man. There's just so many people that try to do podcasts. I'm like, man, you are not interesting. Like, or I just don't find you interesting. Let's just put it that way. Not to be
Right.
rude or nothing. It's like I'm sure people listen to us and are like, you guys aren't interesting, but we find ourselves
Fuck
interesting.
you.
Fuck you. Turn it off. Why you listening
Why,
anyway?
yeah, we get you're
We're
two,
actually-
2 hours into it now. What the hell?
Why you listen to us, bro?
Why you listen, bro?
Yeah, that's why you listen, bro. You know, that's just me. So Rogan will always be that guy I listen to every year. He has some good, and I try to venture out. I try to listen to other people. Like some people, you know, I think there's a podcast for everyone. We'll just say that. Like, you know, that's why I do these podcasts because I enjoy it. It does bring a lot of happiness to me. And I do get euphoric feelings sometimes listening to people. And it's like, hey, man, there's so much cool shit I learned about something I just didn't know. That's why I want a Matt and Trey Stone Parker, one Rogan, or somebody where I can listen. It's like, man, I want to learn something that I didn't know, that I didn't have to read or get through third hand through some YouTuber that found out through somebody. It's like I'd like to hear it from the horse's mouth. You know, that's kind of stuff I like hearing too.
Totally.
Because you know how things get lost when people are playing telephone. You know, you put 20 people in a row and you play telephone, and by the time it gets to the last person, it's not
It's
exactly.
a totally different story.
And that's exactly how I feel with a lot of times when people are talking about South Park or your favorite musician or
Right.
whoever it is. You get to hear things unfiltered. And I like long form podcasts like we're doing now. Like there's no stops, and it's like, hey, listen to our 30-minute episode, and then check out the next episode and the next episode. It's like let's just talk off the cuff and shoot the shit. That's
Yeah,
what I like.
none
about
of
it.
this is the only thing scripted is some of the questions we get.
Well,
That's it, and topics.
Well, that's it. I mean, we could do a whole one off the cuff. It's just more difficult with two people. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So my final question.
Final question now. Are you sure?
No, maybe not.
Final answer.
So this is more life lessons.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So I brought this in that was kind of something I like to bring.
Oh,
This kind
boy.
of
Yeah, you like to bring this shit in.
just fuck you.
I know.
Either answer it or get off the podcast. Because this is my podcast.
Can I do both?
Yeah.
Take my board and go home.
It's kind of. I guess it's a two-part question. Okay.
Right.
So we'll go with the first part and then the
first
second
part?
part, and
Okay.
then
Okay.
we can wrap it up
Throw it.
if you're lucky.
Let's see what you got.
Because I always wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a particular life lesson you learned that you would like to pass on to others?
Don't do drugs. Just say no.
Just say no.
Dare. Yeah, exactly. I was never part of that.
Mm-hmm. I hate the kids that are potheads that wear Dare shirts and all that stuff. It's so stupid.
Yeah, it's like, what, really?
Yeah.
One of those things.
I don't know.
Oh, life lesson. Jesus Christ. There's so many.
Is there one that sticks out to you the most over the last 42 years that you've been alive? That
44.
you're,
Thank you.
Okay, 44. You old fuck. All right, so the last 44 years of life. Is there any life lessons? If you ran into some kid, we'll call him Tommy down the street, my friend, that I give life lessons to all the time because I try to guide him with some guidance and knowledge from my old man wisdom. Is there anything you would tell them that would be a life lesson that would make things better? I'll just go first because I can name a lot.
So can I.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll say, listen to your gut.
Listen to your gut.
Yeah. If something doesn't seem right, if it's too good to be true, it's not. It's not. Because there's so many things that sound great on paper or on the screen or anything like that, and then you get to see it face to face, and it doesn't happen. Then you let yourself down. So yeah, if anything is too good to be true, it probably isn't.
I agree with that too. A life lesson I think a lot of people struggle with till this day, and probably for the rest of their life, most people struggle with this is a good life lesson I gave my friend on the street, Tommy. If you're listening, this is for you, bud. Don't care what people think about you.
Yeah,
that's one of my biggest life lessons. Yeah. And I think it's something you taught me a long time ago, and I've always kind of taken to heart. When you're younger, a lot harder to do when you're trying to make friends and be in the crowd and fit in, and you don't want to be a dork at the same time, but you don't want to be the guy that's off doing everything by himself and you have no friends. Like you want to be, you want to fit in. You just want to feel like you belong.
Be you. Do you. That's what people say. Do you all the time because that's what matters because it's your world. I mean, the world is yours, and you can make it your world. You just gotta fucking be yourself.
Right. So that's one of the life lessons I like to teach people. Just don't care what people think, man. If people don't like you for you and who you are,
fuck them.
And fuck them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I there was a point in time, I'm not going to say I wasn't. There's point in times I tried to fit in and be like, I'm the cool guy or whatever and make friends with everybody at school. I did it organically. I was just nice to everybody and became friends. I think that really worked out in my benefit because there's so many people like, man, you were so cool in high school and so nice and whatever. And like, you never judged me. And it's like, dude, I was just being a normal, nice guy or whatever.
Yeah.
That's who I was, right?
Right.
But also, there was times it's like, man, I tried to impress people for stupid reasons. Like, why the fuck would I do that? I was young and immature. I think everybody goes through that. I don't care who you are. I think you probably did it. I probably did it. Our family's done it. Our parents. But as I got older, I'm like, why do I care about who these people think? I don't. And as you get older, you realize that all that stuff you thought people cared about, what kind of clothes you wear, what kind of shoes you wear, what kind of fucking hair gel you wear, or whatever. I don't know, just brand stuff in general. Nobody cares.
Right.
Nobody gives a shit. People like you for you, and that's what it comes down to. So don't change yourself, and don't care what people think.
Honestly, I could not tell you. Maybe I could not tell you the last time I got offended when someone called me fat. Because it's like I don't care. It's me. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Your mom's fat. I don't care. I cannot tell you. I honestly, couldn't even tell you when the last time I was really insulted by somebody saying something. Somebody said, I'm going to fuck your mother in front, in the asshole, this and that. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. She's dead. You're
you
fucking
can always
best.
say good comeback. They say you're.
Yeah. Even if I don't have a comeback, it bugs people.
If it doesn't bother you or phase you, then they have no power and they have no
exactly.
control. They don't win.
Exactly. And it pisses them off even more.
I always like to come back with your mom jokes, even though they're old, but your mom jokes always get people.
Yeah, and it gets people to laugh too.
It gets people to laugh, but they also get pissed off about it really easy. So like you kind of win if you get you get to attack them and their mom at the same time. So
right.
Mom jokes.
What I do with Jen, what really pisses her off is like if she's like, I need you to do the dishes. I go, you do the dishes. Whatever she tells me to do, I go, you do it.
That's why I told Laura that too. She's like, hey, can you come out and do this? I'm like,
no.
I do everything else in the house. She's like, that's all you ever say to me. You do everything in the house. She's like, don't you think I do anything around here? It's like, no. And then starts World War III in our house.
Exactly.
So
yeah,
don't say that to your wife.
Exactly.
Or your spouse.
Or boyfriend, anybody.
Your dog.
What's your second part?
Second part is okay. Can you reflect on a mistake, challenge, or biggest value or failure that you taught yourself something valuable? Okay, hold on. I worded this wrong. Can you reflect on a mistake, challenge, or biggest failure that you taught yourself or someone value about yourself? So pretty much, I guess I was trying to say was, is there any like bigger mistake, challenge, or failure that you learned from that you could teach somebody else or about It's kind of. I have bad wording. Sorry.
Listening to people and taking it to heart.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that you're getting insulted or something like that. It's just when people give you advice and I don't listen because they were right. admitting other people were right.
Yeah.
And me being stubborn, because that's my biggest thing is I am very stubborn.
Mm-hmm.
I could take so many jokes, I could take so many fucking insults. It doesn't faze me, but I am so stubborn when somebody wants me to do something,
Mm-hmm.
or somebody asks me something, and it's just the way I am. You know, sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's not, and it's just me being so hard headed. I need to listen to certain. I need to listen to advice, or even need to heed my own advice. There's so many times I gave somebody like relationship advice, or even just so much as mental health advice, that I need to take it as well, and I don't. You know, I should stop and listen to myself or whatever, and it's just I just don't.
Mm-hmm.
It's like sometimes I feel like I'm talking out of my ass, which to me it is, but then later on it's like, you know, that would kind of work for me too.
Right.
You know, and that's one of the failures is me not being true to myself and being stubborn and stuff like that, and actually listening to some people, taking advice.
I can relate to that. I think a lot of people they like to give advice but not take their own advice.
Yeah.
But I think I've learned more from that I try to do and give the best advice. It's like I'll give one example. Like, I'm really good at giving people advice for losing weight and like getting and working out and doing stuff. They're like, "How did you lose weight?" Because I've done the whole, like, I've done all the fads, I've done all the bullshit, and I figured out what works for me, which doesn't always work for everybody else. But sometimes I like to toot my own horn and be like, "It's so easy. You got to just do this and this." And I realize sometimes it's like it's not that easy, because now I'm back in a space where it's like, man, I haven't been in the gym in a long time. It's really hard to get back into it. I've never been in that spot in my life. Now I'm at the spot where I've talked to people who are like, dude, once you get out of it, it's really hard to get back into it. And then, like, being around kids and eating good and doing all this stuff, it's like it's easier than it sounds. But when you're busy and you got life going on and it comes at you a million miles per hour, it's hard to sit down and be like, man, I'm going to wig out room for making sure that I eat really good every day and that I'm disciplined and I go to the gym and stuff. It's easy to give advice. It's harder to follow through with it, right? So I guess this is something I can relate to it with. But I guess the question as well, for me, I would have to say, if I had to reflect on a mistake, challenge, or biggest failure and give advice to someone else is,
don't be a fool, wrap your tool.
Don't be a fool, wrap your tool. That's a good one for all young men.
Have you ever seen the cartoon, the Mr. T cartoon on Saturday Night Live? I forgot what the hell it was. It's like he had dementia or something. He's like, drink your school, stay in milk, and get. Fuck. It's basically. It's supposed to be drink your milk, stay in school, and stay off drugs or something like that. And he mixed them all up. It was like stay in drugs, get your milk, and you know,
don't go to school.
Yeah, don't go to school or something like that.
Yeah, that's funny. No, I've never seen that.
I gotta find that because it's funnier than hell.
Yeah,
I think it was Saturday Night Live. Is that or Adult Swim? I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to reflect on anything or just something about that, I would say, you know, this is just me, not everybody else, but. Be more active as a kid and don't just sit around and party and do drugs all the time.
Be a fucking kid.
Just be a kid.
Live it. Stop and smell the roses.
Yeah,
you know?
Stop and smell the roses. Enjoy being a kid.
Yeah. You're going to grow up too fast.
There are so many times where I wish that I could go back and just relive my childhood and some stuff I'd done. But at the same time, I don't regret anything I've done. I don't have any regrets. I just meant health-wise, I think people need to be more health conscious when they're younger, but also it's like, at least experience everything and enjoy your life and be a kid, but also don't do it to the extreme where it's going to affect your life long term. And I think one of my biggest things that affected me was I became dependent on weed to like function and be normal.
Pothead.
I mean, I was a pothead, but I mean, I didn't function to the point where I couldn't do anything. I was a functional pothead. I just meant like I felt like life sucked and I couldn't do anything without it.
Right.
And
you couldn't live without it.
I couldn't live without it, and became a problem, dude.
At least it was weed. It wasn't like coke or anything like
no,
that.
I know weed wasn't that bad. I know I'm just preaching, and now weed's legal, so it's not that big of a deal. But when it's like cigarettes or booze or anything else. If you can't go every day without having it, that's a problem, right? Yeah. And now I'm to a point now it's like I can go anywhere without it. I'm fine, you know. But before I was like I couldn't go to the mall. Couldn't go to the movies. Right.
It couldn't be a daily thing without.
I couldn't go to the gas station when I was getting high and going and get a soda or going to do something. Like, you know, it was just it became like a ritual and routine. Everything I did, I had to smoke before I went and did it. And
Pothead.
What I mean is that if I could pass it on to other people, is like just don't get to that point where you have to be dependent on something to do that.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Don't think you have to drink a soda every day. Don't think you have to smoke weed or have a shot or something like that.
Right.
Because it's going to fuck you up.
I bring things to the extreme, so it's like you don't have to work out every day. You don't have to run every day. You don't have to read 5 books every day to be the best at something or do whatever. It's like obviously you can be passionate and be into something, but I'm just giving advice. I'd say I wish I didn't do everything because I don't know how much money I spent on it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I had a lot of good times, a lot of fun times. But at the same time, it got to a point where, like, there was a time I went on vacation. I was having, like, withdrawals and panic attacks because I didn't have weed. And, like, my dad had to send it to me in the mail, and I got it in the mail. I smoked it. I felt instantly better and relief. And I was like, man, I have a problem. That's when I realized, I'm like, I have a problem. I need to stop doing this. And that's when I kind of made a choice. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. Just because it wasn't worth it, you know? Right. And it's like, I didn't give it up. I mean, I did give it up for a while so I could wean myself off and become better, but it's like, I didn't want to be dependent on anything anymore. Yeah. It took me till I grew up and figure out that I had a problem and realize it, like, hey, I have a problem that
see, that's what it is. That you realized you had a problem. So
right. It wasn't other people telling me, and no one else really told me I had a problem. Everyone,
because they're smoking with you.
Well, smoking with me, but a lot of my friends and family that did see me, like, Randy's doing good. He's got a good job. He's going to school. I was doing everything right. I was just dependent on weed. It was my biggest vice in life, and I was like, man, I chose the wrong vice to go through life with, Right. So I'm glad that things worked out the way it is. That's just my life advice. If I had to do anything, the life's lesson, don't be dependent on that kind of stuff. That's it.
Not worth it.
No. So the final thing.
Another final? There's you've had like 7 finals.
I know. This is like the final in college. It doesn't stop.
You just want to keep this 3-hour podcast.
It's only 2.
So far.
Final thought to leave listeners with for the year, for our recap and everything. Is there anything you want to reflect on, talk about? Final thoughts. We always do final thoughts. And final thoughts goes to my friend Sam because he always brought up final thoughts in the podcast. So I always dedicate that to him.
Yeah.
And Tim's mom.
Final thought. That's a good thing. I'm glad it's over. I mean, life. I love Ferris Bueller. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't sit down and look around from it, you could miss it. And like we said a little bit just a few minutes ago, is stop and smell the roses. Take things easy. Take everything in stride. Don't let life pass you by. Because like I said, I'm 44 years old, and I feel like life's more than half over. I've had my 15 minutes of fame. Being in bands and stuff, and just have fun while you got it. While you got life.
Live in the moment, enjoy your life.
Exactly. Live in the moment. Exactly.
Enjoy and be happy that you have what you have, and don't be ungrateful.
Exactly.
Stuff like that.
Don't be an asshole unless you're a funny asshole.
Yeah, I mean, final thoughts for me is, I'm kind of glad 2023 is over with. I mean, it wasn't my favorite year by any means.
Better than 2020.
Better than 2020. I'll give you that. I mean, I had a lot of good positives, a lot more positive than negatives in 2022. I don't mean to be negative or nothing about it, but I'm sad that Halloween's already over and Thanksgiving and now Christmas, so I had nothing to look forward to besides New Year's Eve. And New Year's Eve is overdrawn and played out. I mean, unless you're single and you go out and drink and party, it's really it's amateur hour at the end of the day when people all go out and get fucked up. It's the one thing I don't go out on. I go out the day before or the day after. It'd be better in my opinion. So it's nothing cool to me because it's just 1 year that I know that I'm getting older. That's just a realization of what it is. It kind of sets in reality, and you're like, fuck, now I'm a year older. Like my birthday from now is 3 or 4 months from now, and I'm going to turn 37.
So you're getting closer to 40.
Yeah, don't remind me. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna be like, what's his name from the Karate Kid? I'm not gonna look 40.
That's what people keep telling me. They go, if I didn't see the gray in your beard, I would barely think you're barely 30. I'm like, thanks, man.
Yeah, you definitely look 30.
And I sure as fuck don't act like it.
You look 30. You don't look 40. You don't look 20.
That's for sure.
You act 20.
Yeah, no less than that. Fuck. I'm still stuck in junior high.
So like the final recap of this year. I'm glad it's winding down. Yeah. I guess I'm looking forward to 2024 and hoping better things happen in
more podcasts.
More fun podcasts. Hopefully, where things in life get better for everybody is what I'm hoping. World wars don't happen or any of that kind of bullshit.
Right.
We get a better president that actually cares about America.
Who even knows who America is?
He knows who America is. Exactly. What else? I have to say, like, I had fun. I had a good 2023. I'm not gonna say it was bogus by any means. I did a lot of cool things I wish I could have done, but still a lot of bucket list items I want to do over the years.
You got time.
Definitely got time.
Just don't let it pass you by.
Hoping South Park. I thought they were going to come out with something in the year in. I guess they haven't.
Well, they kind of did with the latest one, the Pandaverse.
Yeah, that was good. But you know what I mean. I want the TV show.
I know you want. I know.
I want the regular.
They spoiled you by having 15 episodes a season, then going down to 3 and 5 and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Florida number. Oh, sorry, that's Ohio number.
Yeah, so it's probably.
They're probably trying to get me to enroll in school again.
Yeah, can you enroll in school again? Okay.
Maybe.
It's guidance counselor calling you.
Probably.
So to wrap it up, what is your New
Year's resolution? Definitely to lose weight and stay healthy. Get healthy, not stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's got to be that because I'm like you said, not too far from 50.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see 46 at least.
I think you will. You'll be fine. I think mine is to make money and fuck bitches. No,
cocaine and blowjobs.
Definitely blowjobs. No more cocaine. My heart can't handle it. But for real, I think mine is the same thing. I think is get back in the gym, be more healthy. I mean, obviously, I still play hockey and do stuff, so I know I'm not unhealthy by any means. But
just stay inactive.
I'd like to lose 10 or 15 pounds. I know you're going to say you don't need to lose any weight, but for my health and my well-being, because I am my own worst critic, you can say, I'd like to lose 10 pounds. I think everybody feels like they can lose 10 pounds. I'd like to lose at least 10 or 15 pounds as a goal this year. I'm going to try really hard. I think I can. And most likely just be healthy all year long. That's my goal. Be healthy so I can be around for my kids, my family, and to make fun of Tim and do this kind of stuff.
At least try to.
Huh?
At least try to make fun of me.
I can at least try. I mean, I'm pretty good at making fun of
you.
You
Are. You're good. I get to.
But you're really good.
I try.
You try. Besides that, I would say New Year's resolution. I know it's so cliche to say you lose weight. Everybody says the same thing: lose weight, work out, whatever. But
quit drinking,
quit masturbating.
Why?
On Pornhub. Dude, I read some random thing that says some guy says if you masturbate like 10 times in a month, like the likelihood of getting prostate cancer is like driven down by like 80%.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's like, and then some guy was like, they showed like a meme after that guy was masturbating or whacking off like 30 times a month or something every day. I was like, yeah.
He won't have it.
No, he won't have it. But anyway, New Year's resolution. I think that's it, man. Just to stay happy and healthy. Just be more positive. Get off social media. I think one of mine. I think my biggest one. I think that's my biggest one. Is just try to stay off social media and not get on my phone as much. It's very, very, very hard.
Yeah. Because we've done it so long now.
Well, you've done it so long. We're just so connected with our phones. There's just so much shit that's on our phones. Everything. All my work stuff's on my phone. All my nudes of your mom is on my phone.
Yeah. I need that last one you sent you.
What?
The last one. My mom was with her legs way out.
Oh yeah, I actually put a clown picture on her and sent it to clownworld.com.
Cool. She'll love it.
She'll love it for sure. But just stuff like that, man.
She wants you on her OnlyFans too, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
She wants you to what is it? Repay or every month?
Resub.
Yeah, resub every month.
I'm already on Feet Finder with her, so I can't do it.
Get off her Tinder then.
Gross. But yeah, that's my New Year's resolution. Really, it's just
stay off Tinder.
Yeah, stay off Tinder. Be off. Just be off. Yeah, Grindr. Just be off social media as more as I can. I think that's a big one for me.
Be more social, but not on social media.
Yeah, I'm not gonna joke, dude. Like the doom scrolling and sitting on social media, I think I waste probably. And I know you probably do it worse than me because you have more free time in your hands. But like, I probably get a good 3 hours, maybe 4 hours a day, and a lot of it's on social media. I don't mean to. I just start reading stuff on there, like.
That's basically our phone has become like the new newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever people used to wake up back in the '60s, they'd sit at the kitchen table. The kids are there before getting ready for school. The wife's making breakfast. The husband's sitting there reading the newspaper. Instead, what are we doing? We're all sitting there on our phones so we can read about what's going on in the world. Mm-hmm. Or some people used to like watch TV in the kitchen. A lot of people didn't have that kind of luxury. Now it's just like we're watching TV on our phones because we want to know what's going on in the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. If people like me, who've lived through a longer era of not having phones, I shouldn't be such a slave to the screen as I am, because I lived so long without a cell phone. You know, I didn't get my first cell phone to 2001 or something like that.
I'll tell you what a good trick is for people. That anybody's listening, I've come to find out, and a lot of older people do this because they just don't care about their phone as much, and unless they really got sucked into it, and the older they get, they have nothing else to do than play on their phone. Like I've seen that a lot with like retirement homes, people playing games and doing shit. I mean, I'm sure you've seen it.
Yeah.
To take your phone and go stick it somewhere in the house on a charger, or just put it out of sight, out of mind, and go put it somewhere, and then walk outside and go do something or get distracted, and you'll just forget about your phone.
Yeah.
The phone will just cease to exist. The other day, I went out with my son to play hockey. I was outside for 3.5 hours playing with them and doing everything. My phone sat inside. I didn't miss it one bit. Didn't care. But if I had my phone out there, I wouldn't have been paying attention to my son. I would probably check my phone every 20 minutes. Something like I got a beep or something like that.
Right.
It becomes part of you. Like, you know, like they say, like if everybody can leave the house with anything, you can forget your wallet and you wouldn't care. I mean,
the second you drop your phone or if you don't realize it's in your pocket, you have like that little heart attack.
Yeah, we've talked about that before. Yeah. It's like because you have all your shit on your phone, right? Your bank accounts, everything. I mean, your life is in your phone now, right?
Yeah.
It sucks. It's just the way the world works, man.
Yeah.
I wish there was something better we could do for whatever, but
a lot of times, you know, I've told people this, and I should even heed this, that if to get off social media, just delete the app, just delete it completely.
Actually, you know, Joe Rogan said he does that. He said the best thing he does is he deletes like Twitter and Facebook and stuff, and he'll re-download it in like a month or something if he wants to get on.
Some people I know are even they forget their passwords on purpose, or not on purpose. They just totally make it a really off password than they normally would. That way they can't remember it, so they can't get back on.
Mm-hmm. You know, you can hit reset password and get back.
I know you can do that too, but some people aren't that really
tech savvy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That makes sense, and I think that's a good way to do it too. And I've come to this too. Some people might think this is stupid, but I don't care because this is what I do. Without Tim breaking his microphone and everything else,
and kicking the table again.
Is at the dinner table. If I'm going out to dinner with family or friends, my phone is not out anymore.
Yep.
Unless it's just family I don't care about, then my phone's out. Or if I'm at the dinner table at my house with my kids and everything else, there is no electronics at the table. There's no iPad, there's no phone. And no TV. And if there is something on TV, then it's probably the Blues game or something. But I turn the sound down to doesn't distract anybody, so we can sit there and at least talk about our days, like people used to.
Yeah,
We sit there and talk about like what you did at school today, how was your day today, eat your food, and then you can turn the TV on. It doesn't have to be an hour-long conversation. It needs to be 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. I mean, I'm not sitting at the dinner table eating food for 45 minutes like I'm old. You know, and I have my dentures.
I've actually seen restaurants where people literally walk in the door and they said, "We need your cell phone."
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if they can hand it over if willingly if they want to. Other places I've seen where people were having like a night out, friends were hanging out for the night out. They all put their phones in the middle of the table. First one to grab them has to pay the bill.
Mm-hmm.
Or there's even a bar, I believe, where is it? Somewhere in southern Missouri. They have these beer glasses or plastic cups or whatever that your phone sits underneath it, that if you take it out, the beer spills.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like, wow, it's because there's a lot of places now are trying to get people to be more social, talk about their day, stuff like that, and stay off the fucking phone.
I've seen a place, I mean, they started this too. I thought it was pretty cool. When they go to their seats, unless it's an emergency, obviously, or whatever, but it's mostly, I think, for the kids more than the adults, is they'll take the kids and they'll have like a lock box and thing. They put it in there and they just lock it, and they have the adult has the number. They'll give it to you when you get into the place or whatever, and they'll say if you need to unlock it, you can get your phones out, here it is or whatever.
Well, the thing I saw was really fucking cool. There's a band called Danzig, and then Tool even did it. That there's a venue. They don't want people taking pictures during their shows. So what they do is whenever people come in, they get this like little purse with a zipper on it that locks. That it will only unlock if you're in certain cell phone areas. So like if you're in the back. You know, if you went back to the main entrance or something like that, it'll unlock. You can take your phone out, but then you have to put it back in, and then once you go back through that certain area, it'll automatically lock again, so you can't get your phone.
That's a really good idea.
I mean, it's great for concerts because there's so many people that just sit there on their phone. It's like, dude, seriously, you're at a fucking concert.
Have you seen any live concerts lately? We'll wrap this up here in a minute, folks. Sorry. If you go to a concert now, like if you sit on the crowd, you see all these people wearing like wristbands or whatever. They'll allow wristbands like glow and like Taylor Swift does one where like every song or Coldplay.
How do you know so much about Taylor Swift?
Because my wife,
okay,
her mom's best friend is Taylor Swift's aunt. So I've got to meet Taylor Swift. I went backstage and got to meet her.
Did you fuck her?
Would I be sitting here if I fucked her? It'd be great if I did.
Loaded question.
Loaded question?
Move on.
No, I didn't get to fuck her.
She wrote a song about you.
She wrote a song about me. There you go. That's good. Long story short is yeah, my wife's mom's best friend is her aunt. So like they get tickets and all this kind of stuff, whatever. Well, she got to watch her live show, and recently she did the bracelet thing like Coldplay does. I like Coldplay. I don't care what anybody else thinks. I think they're a good band. And if you watch their concerts, live, they put on some really cool shows. I don't care. I don't care what you think. That's one band. That's one band in this era I do appreciate. I think
Momo.
Why am I moron?
I know you're not more. You're Momo.
What's a Momo?
A homeowner.
A homeowner?
Homeowner.
Okay. Either way,
anyway, go ahead. The bracelet, Coldplay.
The bracelet thing, when they do a song, that it changes for the song, whatever they're doing, whatever. And she does the same thing. When I thought was cool because I was like, man, everybody's in the crowd's holding up their phones, recording. She goes, no, those are bracelets. I was like, oh, that's cool. She's trying to get the same thing. She doesn't want people to record because everybody in the crowd, if you looked up, 30 or 40,000 people the same, they're all going like this with their phone.
Yeah.
Some people are watching through their phone, or other people are just watching it by recording with their phone. It's like, okay, if you're watching and recording with your phone, I can see, but as long as you're not looking at the phone.
Yeah.
But if you're there just looking through the phone recording, you're not really enjoying the show.
It's like those people who go to baseball games and listen to the game on the fucking radio.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen that. I don't know how many countless times where people are listening to a live game that they go to on the radio.
Because they want to hear the announcer talk.
Exactly.
I get that.
I get that too, but it's the same thing of watching the concert through your phone. It's the same fucking thing.
I've never been about the concert thing with my phone. I might take a Snapchat and show people that I'm there or something.
Yeah, exactly.
To show off.
I might take it with the cool. Yeah.
But for the most part, or I might record a little section of something, maybe my favorite song or something.
Or if you know some pyros coming up or some kind of performance.
Not the whole fucking podcast, bro.
Right, exactly.
It's not the whole podcast. But to your point earlier, yes, I like Coldplay. You can suck a D. It was actually...
Apparently you do.
Huh?
Apparently you do if you like Coldplay.
Hey, man. I like what I like, okay? They're a good band. You can't say they're not.
Yeah, they are.
Have you seen all the people that go to their concerts?
I could care less.
Well, there you go. So, stop being so close-minded.
Remember, I'm one of the 1%.
Huh?
I'm one of the 1%.
That's fine. You can be 1%. There's things you probably like that I don't like.
Exactly.
You know, they're musicians.
So go ahead. Go ahead.
You can say you like Cannibal Corpse, and I can say they're fags. So,
yeah.
There you go.
Nice try.
Huh?
Nice try.
It's not a nice try. There's a lot of people think that. You're a juggalo at one point, so I can make fun of you about that. So
were you.
No, I wasn't.
Anyway, about Coldplay.
Just in general, I was just saying the thing about with them recording. They're the same way. They don't allow any type of recording device or anything like that. I think it's become a more common thing. I mean, Dave Chappelle does the same thing in his comedy show. All the comedy shows, no phones. You have to be in a certain designated area. The purse idea is really good.
Yeah.
But going back to our phone thing, we're talking about the dinner table and the devices and stuff, I think that's a real problem with just people because they've come to find out if someone sees you with your phone in your hand, they think you're not giving their whole attention to them because you're married to your device and it's right in front of you. That's just what it is. So I try not to do that as much as I can. I do it sometimes not thinking. I just do it more with my kids because they're so like this and the iPads the whole time, you know, that I'm like, hey, how was your day at school? And they don't talk to me. And it's like, all right, here's the iPad. How was your day at school? And they still want to respond. I want my iPad. You know, the meltdown. Yeah. It's like, man.
Slave to the screen.
Slave to the screen. Exactly. So that is something for social media in general, just in general. I don't want to be a slave to my screen. That's my New Year's resolution. I don't want to be on my phone as much.
There you go.
I wish I don't think it's going to happen, but I definitely try with social media. I think I may have because I don't really care about social media.
Right.
I never post on there. I mean,
It's not on Twitter anymore.
The only thing I get pissed off about you know, it's funny is my sister does the same thing I do to her because she knows that I hate her when she does this. Ashley, I'm calling you out before the podcast is over. Is if I post something on Facebook, she'll troll me on my phone, like she did yesterday, and you saw that. But if she posts something, I troll her.
She hates it.
She hates it so much. I can get her so much worse than she can get me.
Right, exactly.
I can deal with it and take a laugh.
Exactly. People don't know who I am,
when
so I can get her back.
She posts stuff on Marketplace, I'll keep replying like, how much you want for this or whatever. And I'll be like, hey, I'll trade you this for this. And she's like, you shut the fuck up. Like, stop sending me stuff about this. And then I'll have you send her something like, hey, how much or whatever. Yeah. And then she took the post down and got pissed off at me because I kept on doing it. And then her husband had to hit me up and say, hey, man, will you stop messing with her? I'll be like, yeah. And then I'll
even with your mom when I said that creepy dolls and she I think either she doesn't send it to me or I barely see any of the estate sales things anymore unless she doesn't have any.
She hasn't had it in a while.
Okay.
So,
I thought she took me off because I did that. I'm like, well, goddamn.
Yeah, you know what was funny too? When my sister took that down, then Brad, her husband, posted it underneath his name, and now I'm hitting him up. I'm like, hey, how much for this? And he's like, motherfucker. So, like, once the dad followed, like, hey, do you even talk to this person? While I'm like, hey, can you drop the price? I'm like, hey, whose is this?
That's why whenever on my horror page, people constantly, I'm talking fucking constantly, go on my horror page and say, what movie is this? Even though it shows the fucking cover of the movie. So whenever someone on like if the boss lady if she puts something on there and this and nobody asks for it yet, I'll put what's the movie just to fuck with her, or what movie is this, or just something random. It's a lot of times when people do that, I'll go use my account, take a screenshot or whatever of the movie poster, circle it like 1,000 times, and then put that as the comment and go, duh.
You shouldn't have told me that.
I know, I do it all the time.
'Cause now I'm gonna do it to you.
I don't care. I post the movie title.
I'm gonna start doing it in the other people on your
Yeah, go for it.
on your channel.
Go for it. They know. Or the boss lady knows who you are.
Does she?
Yeah.
You already told her?
No, she knows because of the way you comment on my shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So she's like, who is that guy?
She's like, that's gotta be family. I'm like, yeah, it's my cousin.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, I'm a top fan.
Yes,
you guys
you are.
know I'm a big deal on the horror page. I'm a top fan.
Probably.
People want to have sex with me because I'm a top fan on Halloween.
Hey, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
You never know.
I don't know.
All those guys.
Hey, man, it's sex.
Holes a hole. Holes a hole.
Hole's a hole. All right, that's enough.
Anyway, we gotta go.
Yeah, we got to go. That was our podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed the year-end podcast wrap-up. Some of our random questions, some of our good questions.
Our goofiness.
If you guys like the podcast, remember to hit a like on it. Subscribe, of course. Can someone comment? Leave some
Break
fucking
that down.
comment.
Yeah, we're commenting on our own shit. Come on, man.
I'm not commenting on shit.
Yeah, you are.
Am I?
You did the other day.
Yeah, I did actually. Just see if anybody would respond to it. Actually, Tommy responded on one of ours.
Oh, good. Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think second to last one, he responded. Hey, said, "Hey, you guys, your audio sounds great. This podcast really enjoyed it, or something like that." So,
Okay.
thanks, Tommy, for giving us
Yeah,
a
thanks,
shout
Tommy.
out.
Top fan.
Tell your fans.
No, top fan.
No,
Tommy,
fan.
top fan.
Top fan on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
On YouTube. I'm sorry. Tell people. Keep telling them it's a Christmas present.
If they want to laugh, come on, man. If they want to be on the show, give us a ring.
If you don't like it, just turn on so your wife annoys your wife. Whatever you guys want to do at that point.
Just listen to it. We're funny.
Listen to why you have talk to your psychologist. I mean, whatever you want to do, right?
I'm sure your wife calls you boogeyman.
No. Yeah, okay, well, just to end off the year, kids, remember, kiddies, stay scared.
And all that junk.
Huh?
And all that junk.
All that junk? No, you said remember, kiddies, stay scared. I say kids.
Until next time, remember kitties.
You say until next time. I say remember, kiddies, stay scared.
Right. You steal my shit.
I have to.
Not you, nobody else. Somebody else will. I'd rather you steal it than somebody else.
Who else would steal it?
Yeah, anybody.
You got to put a brand on it.
I should.
with your
Yeah,
name
like
on
a
it.
little trademark circle.
What would your trademark?
I would probably do that. Until next time, kitties. I do that whole saying. I would put that as a trademark.
Put your face in the middle and put it around you in a circle.
I can do that.
All right, we're wrapping it up, guys. Sorry.
Laters.
See ya.